is so real. Already know exactly how you feel. See the head, not like seeing a steeple. You damn well know they're one of the people. Nobody breaks us, nobody made us, and no one can take this cause we got their fix. We are the people, we are the people, we are the people. Don't mess with this.
Let's go.
Good morning. It is Patrick and the people. It is Tuesday, baby, and it is cold again today.
Dang, you ain't lying,
I mean,
dude.
man, it is cold, bro.
I thought I moved away from all this stuff.
I know, right?
Brutal out
It
there.
feels like Michigan here.
I called up my mom yesterday. I said, hey, your weather's drunk again. It ended up in Arkansas. You can come pick it up.
Right, no doubt. It's wild. Now, I don't know if we're going to get the snow or ice at the end of the week, but
Yeah, they're
they're
calling
calling for it, aren't
Yep, yep.
they? Yeah. Are they seem pretty sure about it.
They do, but that just makes me have less faith in them.
No.
I don't think it's going to snow a bit.
No, I mean, normally that's what happens. They'll
Right.
say that, and then it doesn't. Hey, I like that hat, man.
Yeah, thank
That's
you.
a
Jamie
New
just
York
got
Jets
that.
hat.
Yeah, go Jets. I mean, they
Yeah.
did absolutely horrible this season.
Yeah.
But hey, they won. They won their last game against Miami.
Yeah.
Did y'all see
Roger.
that game the other day between Lions and Vikings?
Oh
yeah.
that was a great
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
Great
yeah,
game. I
no.
was rooting for Sam Darnold on that one. He couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
though.
The only touchdown the Vikings saw was when their plane landed.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, no, it's pretty bad, and yeah, I hate to see that, man. You know, I hated that they got that ass beat like that.
I didn't. Not
Yeah.
at all, man.
No.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so who do you think's going the distance? You think it's Detroit Chiefs?
Unfortunately, so I'd love to see Detroit and the Bills.
Oh, yeah?
But
Yeah.
I think it'll be Detroit and Kansas City.
Man, the Bills have choked so many times, man. I mean, they're just choke artists. I just
Well,
don't.
dude,
It's
yeah.
hard to believe in them.
New England. I couldn't believe they got beat by New England last week.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
what is
right,
that, dude?
right.
Jesus, New England's horrible this year.
No, they are. Who was it that Kansas? Put their third string in against the last game there.
Yeah.
You know, that
Got
team was so
destroyed.
happy. I'm like, man, you beat their cheerleaders. What are you talking about,
That was
man?
Denver.
Yeah, that's who
Denver
it was,
killed 'em.
Denver. Yeah, the Broncos. Well, I mean, they killed the third
Yeah,
string
yeah,
out there.
yeah.
You know, the clipboard squad.
Right.
That's who they took out, man. You know. All right. What's been going on with your holidays, man? It was good.
Oh, man, it was a good holiday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice Christmas. Kiddo got a Power Wheels Jeep for Christmas, so he's been driving me crazy with that.
Oh yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's one of those
Driving
ones
all
that,
over, making lots of noise.
oh yeah, and it can hook up to Bluetooth to your phone or whatever, so he'll do
Nice.
that and start playing music on it. And,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah.
And he knows how to Bluetooth.
Oh yeah.
How old is he?
6.
Oh God. Man, that's crazy, isn't it? When you think about it. How about you, Bundy? Man, you had a good one.
Yeah, good holiday. We didn't do nothing too exciting for New Year's. Just went to the Whitewater Tavern.
Yeah.
Yeah, checked out their karaoke night, played some pool.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good night, though.
Chill. Barely made it to midnight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
barely.
we did too, man. We barely made it to midnight, and then we said, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm going to sleep."
Yeah,
I didn't even make it. I made it till 11, and I was like,
When I was a
I'm
kid,
done.
that was the big thing. Is
Yeah.
you want to stay up as long as you can.
Right,
Now I'm
right.
like, nah, I need to get up tomorrow at some point.
I'm
You know?
just trying to get to midnight.
Yeah, that's it. Let's get into some news and whatnot. United Airlines is going to launch its first commercial flight with Starlink Wi-Fi this spring.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's accelerating its timeline for the new internet service, which is part of Elon Musk's SpaceX. They plan to have its entire 2-cabin fleet use Starlink by the end of the year. The satellite-based Wi-Fi will be free for members of whatever their programs are. Let's see, Costco recalling some of its cold and flu medication. It's labeled its Kirkland Signature Severe Cold and Flu Plus Congestion Caplets. They say the recall is due to possible foreign material contamination. Yeah, you don't want that. It's bad to get. Let's see. For 5 snowplows in Madison, Wisconsin need names. They'll be asking everyone to put their submissions in. The department said silly and punny names with references to pop cultures preferred. Last year, one plow was dubbed Dolly Plowton. Submissions, well, it doesn't matter if you want to do it. You find it. Hey, check this out. Kate Beckinsale and Matt Rife were seen hooking up at an after party for the Golden Globe.
Oh, I hate him even more now.
Listen, man, Kate Beckinsdale, there's nothing she likes better than a young single dude, bro.
Dude, you ain't lying.
She will run to it, man.
Pete Davidson,
Pete
backed her,
Davidson
right?
hooked up with that, yeah. And I'm like, man, she likes to do it,
Likes
you know.
them young, yep.
She likes to get it in. More than 50 million people in the U.S. remain under winter weather alerts as of late yesterday afternoon. Obviously, the Arctic air mass moving through the country brought a lot of cold temperature, heavy snow, freezing rain, road closures. As of yesterday, 9 fatalities have been attributed to storm systems, 2 in Missouri, 2 in Kansas, 3 in Virginia, 1 in North Carolina, 1 in West Virginia. All of them were related to car crashes. They weren't just freezing to death out there.
Be careful out there. Be careful on the roads.
Over 2,000 flights canceled yesterday. If you don't have to get out in it, don't get out in it. I mean, really, it doesn't feel good. It's not nice. A joint session of Congress officially certified the Electoral College vote count yesterday afternoon with no objections. 312 votes for Trump and 226 for Kamala Harris. Newly elected Andy Kim of New Jersey said that January 6th should be an unremarkable day. House Minority Leader reposted his statement, "There are no election deniers on our side of the aisle." Well, congratulations.
All right.
Let's see. Hey, this is wild. Kind of unexpected, but interesting for sure. Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, announced he's resigning as the Liberal Party leader and Prime Minister. His resignation will go into effect once his party's chosen a new leader. Now, that process could take months. Their parliament is paused until a new leader is selected and set to resume no sooner than March 24th. Trudeau took over in 2015, and of course, he's been kind of going back and forth with President-elect Trump over the past little bit. Yeah, he keeps saying he wants to adopt Canada as the new 51st state.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to do that.
I feel like he's copying our style. Like, no, our liberal president stepped down first.
Yeah, right.
He's trying to copy us, dude.
Yeah, maybe so. Over 400 people around the world have died from an HSN1 infection. That's known as bird flu. And now the first person in the U.S. has. That person in Louisiana, confirmed to be the first death in the U.S., was over 65, had multiple underlying medical issues, and had been in contact with sick and dying birds in a backyard flock. So, yeah, if you're really sickly and you're hanging out with chickens, you might have a problem. Let's see. When President Biden commuted the death sentences of 37 inmates on death row, he probably wasn't expecting anybody to say no. But 2 of the prisoners did exactly that. Shannon Agofsky and Lynn Davis filed emergency motions in court to get an injunction to block the commutation of their death sentences. The reason being is they're trying to appeal their case, and that would be problematic legally for them. The Jefferson County deputies called out Friday afternoon in Missouri on a report of something strange going on. It wasn't an exaggeration. When the deputies arrived, they found a spider monkey wearing a pink tutu running around. The monkey is staying at a nearby home, somehow managed to get a door open and wander off. Luckily, deputies were able to make friends with the monkey and get it back home.
I would have ran away too if you're dressing me up.
Yeah, what are you doing putting that monkey in a tutu, man? I'm going to save that for later. Let's see. This is cool. While remodeling the bathroom of his parents' home in Lombard, Illinois, Tim King discovered a decades-old Christmas present hidden behind the drywall. The present was wrapped in paper, had his name on it. He thinks it fell into the wall decades ago as his parents used the attic to store holiday presents. The home was actually built by his great-grandparents and has been in the family for 3 generations. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's dope.
When he opened it, by the way, he found a Matchbox set of Thunder Jets.
Hell yeah.
A toy he described as perfect for his 6-year-old self back in 1978.
Hell yeah.
That's cool.
Probably get something out of it.
I was just about to say, it's
eBay.
probably worth something
Yeah.
now.
Well, I would think so, yeah. Hell, unopened especially. Man, I hope this isn't true. Will Smith shared a cryptic post to social media that has fans thinking he may be joining a new Matrix movie. His post calls out the fact that back in the day he was offered the role of Neo, but turned it down for Wild Wild West. epic fail.
Smart decision.
People have wondered what those movies would have been like with him in the role instead of Keanu
No, they
Reeves.
haven't.
No, they haven't.
No.
Nobody.
No.
Nobody's ever wondered.
Never
that, really.
once in my
Except
life
maybe
was I
Will.
watching those and watching Keanu kick ass and be like, man, I wish Will Smith
that
would
was
just
Will
come
Smith.
slap
No.
someone.
Wish that was a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even certain that, I mean, Keanu Reeves took a lot of martial arts. I mean, a whole lot of martial arts. He really learned it. And that's why he made a bunch of other movies like John Wick and stuff, because he did learn
Right.
that
Will
those
Smith wasn't
movies.
doing that. He
No,
wasn't bringing
hell
that to
no,
the
man.
table.
You can't joke your way out of the Matrix, bro. But he said his post said, "Wake up, Will. The Matrix has you." But before anyone gets too excited, he said his teasers are related to a music project. We'll see. We'll see. But I hope he's not in the Matrix ever.
No, that would ruin it.
No, we don't need that. Let's see. Let's get to some sports. The day after the end of the NFL regular season's traditionally known as Black Friday, where coaches underperforming find their fate and start looking for new gigs. Certainly more changes to come, but a few highlights after a 4-13 campaign. The Jags fired Doug Peterson in the most predictable move. The owner said it's going to be a complete overhaul. Despite having the league-leading quarterback, wide receiver, and defensive end, the Bengals still missed the playoffs. As punishment, they axed the defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo, as well as their offensive line, defensive line, and linebacker coaches. Surprisingly, after a team worst 3-14, the Giants opted to retain the service of head coach Brian DeBole. Ownership did make it a point to say they're running out of patience. Yeah, 3-14. I can't believe you still got a
I was
gig.
going to say, what was the goal?
I mean, I don't know, man, but
If you
that's
can just go win one,
just
we'll
win
keep
one.
you
yeah.
around. Yeah.
The Eagles are hoping for a longer playoff run than last season. They secured the 2 spot in the NFC and will host the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round this weekend. One big question is, what about Jalen Hurts? The quarterback remains in concussion protocol 2 weeks after suffering the injury during the loss to the Commanders on the road. And the head coach broke the news to reporters on Monday, which leaves him availability kind of up in the air. So that's not what you want to have if you are a fan of that team and them getting past the Packers. But if Jalen Hurts is healthy, they should easily get past the Packers.
I think so.
Yeah. Geno Smith led the Seahawks to their first 10-win season in 4 years, and despite missing the postseason, he was able to leave Week 18 a bit richer. He entered the game against the Rams on Sunday with a shot of earning $6 million thanks to 3 contract escalators. You got $2 million each if Seattle picked up a 10th win and finished the season with at least 4,282 passing yards and a completion percentage of almost 70% or better. And he did, so he got himself a little $6 million bonus even without the playoffs. That's all right.
Yeah, he did better than I did.
Yeah, that's for sure. And you were talking about the Jets earlier, and I certainly would love to hear your take on this. But, of course, Aaron Rodgers threw 4 TD passes, helped the Jets beat the Dolphins, killed their playoff hopes 32-20. May have been the 41-year-old quarterback's final game in that role, as they're now talking about sending him over to the Tennessee Titans.
Really, I hadn't heard Tennessee yet.
Yeah, the Titans is the name that has been floated out there a lot, and maybe trading him over there. But what do you think about that?
Man, I don't know. It's hard to say. He hadn't really said a whole lot himself. They pressed him in the press conference yesterday about it, and he was like, it could have been my last NFL game, or it could have been my last game as a Jet, or it could just be my last game of the season, and I'll be back here next year. We'll see. So
he doesn't know, really.
Yeah, he doesn't
or
know.
at least he's playing it close to the
As a Jets
vest.
fan, of course, I'm like, please keep him. Do whatever you got to do. But
he didn't have a great year.
No, he didn't.
I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great.
No, it wasn't great. And really, I think a lot of that's to do with the O-line on the Jets. But, Woody Johnson, the owner, he's about to be on Trump's cabinet here.
Oh,
whatever.
is he?
Yeah, so that's another thing I think is made it convoluted is Woody Johnson's kids are going to supposedly take over.
And
whether
Aaron's
Aaron
like, I'm not playing with the kids,
I'm not
man.
doing
These
that.
new bucks aren't going to be telling me what to do. Yeah.
But, no, it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah. So you've been a Jets fan for your whole life?
No, probably like the last 7 years.
Okay.
Like that. Yeah.
What made you become a Jets fan?
Well, Peyton Manning retired. I really didn't have
You didn't have
anybody
a
to root
quarterback?
for after that. You know, I rooted for Brett Favre before
Yeah.
him. I've never really been a team.
I'm a
person,
quarterback guy
yeah,
too,
yeah.
to
You
be
know, follow a
honest.
quarterback.
Yeah.
And I forget who the Jets had when I started following them.
Geno Smith? No.
No, honestly, I think the first year I started really rooting for the Jets, I think was the year they brought Tebow in for like
Tim
4
Tebow,
games.
yeah.
But yeah, and also Gary Vaynerchuk. You know, his whole deal is he wants to buy the Jets.
Oh,
And,
okay.
yeah, he's a huge Jets fan. So.
Yeah, see, I was a big TB12 fan. I
Yeah.
liked Tom,
God,
and
he killed the Jets. so
oh
many
man, he
times.
did every
Jesus
time.
Christ.
And I liked Brett Favre a lot.
Yeah.
And Peyton Manning a lot.
What do
Yeah.
you think about the similarities between Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers going out? You know, they both went to the Jets, both had horrible seasons with them. Like,
Didn't Brett also go to the Vikings?
yeah. I think his last year was at Minnesota.
There are very few times where you're going to leave a team and go
Yep.
to another one in the
Right.
last minutes of your career and bag a
That
Super
magic's
Bowl.
just not there anymore.
Well,
you know?
no,
I mean, you had
mean-
it put together, both of them, Aaron and Brett, with the Packers. You know,
Yeah.
you got that team dynamic for 10 years, and then
Yeah.
you tried to go somewhere else.
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
You know, and Jordan Love does a good job over there. I mean, I like Jordan
for sure.
Love.
You know,
I don't
his
know if he's
consistency though. That's why I think.
I don't know if he's that
he's
guy.
gonna- right.
You know, I don't know if he is or
I
not.
like the kid. Like
Yeah.
I think he's a good football player, but
Yeah.
yeah, they just haven't been able to get it done when they need to every time this year.
No, they really haven't. They've looked pretty damn bad, to be honest
Like you
with you.
said, if Jalen plays with the Eagles, I don't think they'll have any problem.
Yeah. All right, let's change it up a little bit here. Listen, if you're in need of a vehicle, why don't you think about Fitz Auto? Go over to 8421 Stagecoach Road in Little Rock. Man, they've got some great vehicles right now. They have good low mileage vehicles, late models, whether you want a pickup truck, a minivan, a sports car, a sedan, it doesn't matter, SUV. They even have campers, ATVs, motorcycles. Doesn't matter what you want. They got it there for you. So go check them out. You can also go to fitzauto.com. You can see all their inventory, all their prices. Everything is right there. You can even get pre-qualified without getting a credit hit, which is pretty cool. So go over and check that out. So you guys weren't here yesterday to benefit from a really great report that we got in.
Yeah.
And-
Hell yeah.
yeah. We had, and we went over it pretty thoroughly, but it's the 2024 what people had stuck in their ass in the ER report. And we went down an amazing list of items that people got stuck into their backside. But the good news for you is you have shown up on a great day where that we do have a look back at 2024's data from the ERs about what was pulled out of our junk.
No.
Yeah, and I'm talking about man junk, by the way. Yeah,
I didn't know
so
things got stuck down there.
they
Right.
do.
Jesus Christ.
This data comes from a list of things medical professionals had to pull out of the penises of patients in 2024.
I'm already like tensing up over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ready. Hang on.
Let's start with an AirPod.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe you wanted to hear it.
It makes me
You wanted to hear it different.
wince.
A pen cap, a coffee stir,
Oh,
a screw.
what are people doing? Are these by accident? This is on purpose?
Have you ever accidentally got anything in your penis? Honestly, anything at all?
Oh,
No, you haven't ever. It's never happened. Paper clip, 4-inch metal tube. This
That
one
was
says,
oddly specific.
yeah, this one says, took a piece of plastic coated paper from a milk container, rolled it tightly, wrapped it with tape to the size greater than a crayon, and inserted it as far as he could several hours ago.
Christ.
What are you doing? Why?
What's
Why?
wrong with people, dude?
Are you just that bored? Have you got nothing to do?
It
You-
can't, it
You're
can't
just sitting
feel
there.
good.
I wonder what it would feel like
Huh?
if
It
I
can't
shoved this
feel
in my
good.
dick.
No,
It
of
can't-
course it doesn't.
it
What do you
can't.
mean? The handle of a plastic spoon, a plastic fork, glue. You were trying to glue it? You didn't want to pee anymore or what? Rolled up magazine page, a ring from a Powerade bottle, a domino. Okay, now that's a tough one right
A
there.
domino.
A
You
domino,
gotta be
bro.
packing to shove
I mean,
a domino.
That's a lot of space in there, man. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah,
A
bricked
phone,
up.
phone charging cable, and a thermometer. Yeah, that's where you check your thermometer right there. Yeah, that's where you check the temperature, right?
So apparently this is a thing.
What is?
This shoving things into your. It's like
Into your
like
junk
a,
hole?
It's
Rich
like
is
a kink.
acting. Rich
what?
is acting
Really?
like he knows
Yeah.
nothing
But
about it.
why?
No, I don't. I just look. My Google search history has become so weird since being on this podcast. I'm just
Yeah, no, it will. That's for sure. Yeah. I
Yeah.
used to have to explain things. Yeah, I'm going to be looking at certain things that may not be corporately
Right.
friendly.
You got to call your tech guy. Like, look, don't flag
Yeah.
me for this.
Yeah, please don't, man. Yeah.
Apparently, it's called urethral sounding. Is
Wow.
like the thing, and it's.
You know, there's something for everyone in there.
I mean,
Are you a urethral sounder out there?
Good Lord.
Is that your thing? You wait till Friday, 5 o'clock, you're driving home thinking, man, I'm going to shove this pen right up my junk, man. I'm going to put this Mont Blanc all the way in there.
My wife gives me shit all the time because I tell her, like, just even the thought of a catheter.
Oh,
I
no.
can't-
Oh, God,
I can't
no.
do it.
Uh-uh.
I can't do it.
Hell
That's what I
no.
say. If-
Uh-uh.
If something ever happens, they got to use a cat. Just
No,
put
don't
me
put me
down.
to sleep.
Just put me down.
Yeah, no,
put me down.
out.
I can't do it.
Yeah,
I
some
can't
people do it for themselves.
Oh, I can't
Yeah,
do it.
no.
It's
so,
just
yeah, that's.
the thought of it makes my head hurt.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Anything that goes in that orifice is not feeling good to me. I had a friend of mine who went to the free clinic and he thought he had an STD, and so they went to test him, and the lady came up and she said, "I'm just going to get a quick swab," and said before he knew, she grabbed it, stretched it out, and took a long Q-tip, and went, "Croak, croak." Yeah, didn't even tell him nothing. Of course, would you let her if you did? No.
I mean, yeah, that's probably one of the things you don't want to give
No,
advanced.
no.
Count to 3. No, you're not
No.
going to be ready for it.
No, there's no ready for that. I would leave. I'd be like, no, I'll just give me the medicine. I'm good.
I know if my wife is watching, she's eating it up because just even talking about this shit,
Yeah.
like it just, it
Oh,
gets me.
yeah,
I
no.
can't
It's
deal
so
with it.
weird that what the things that get people's jollies.
Right. I know.
I mean,
it's
how
so
do you
odd.
get to
It's so odd.
putting something in an orifice that doesn't belong there?
Right.
You know?
And exit only.
Well, I mean, for some, apparently,
I
right?
mean, yeah.
I mean, others are using it like a storage pouch. It looks like,
like a kangaroo.
like a little. You get you a boom flag that comes out of it, like an old pop. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, a little bang that comes out of it. That'd be great, man. That'd be great.
Horrible.
So hey, let's talk for a second about Ark and Brawl, man.
Oh man, lots of news
Hey, you
coming out
brought,
with Ark and
brought
Brawl.
the bell.
I brought, we have
Just rung the bell. How's
we
the bell
have
work?
the official ring bell here now, so you know.
Nice.
That's good times right there. That's good. It makes me want to fight.
Right.
Just hearing it
Gets
makes
you
me
in the
want to
mood.
go. Yeah, it makes
you
me
in
want
the
to
mood.
go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following.
Yeah, so it's a very,
Um,
very exciting. So talk about the event, what's going on, what's new, everything going on with it, man.
Oh man, there's just where to start. There's so many developments.
Yeah.
No, seriously. So we have you can go on Facebook now, look up Ark and Brawl. You can see all the match cards on there.
Ark and Brawl.
Ark and Brawl,
Just
yeah,
like
with
it
a
sounds.
hyphen.
Yeah.
You got Azul Tormenta going to go against Cody Hayes for the AWE Undisputed Next Level Championship.
Okay.
So we got that on the card. Of course, we have the Ark and Brawl itself. We're going to open up with that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a
A
battle.
big match right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, a big match right off the bat, a battle
Wow.
royal. I'd say how many people are going to be in it, but honestly, I don't know.
You
It
don't
just
know yet.
keeps
A
growing.
battle royale. That's awesome to have, man. I love it when they start running out on a timer like that and they just start showing up in the ring, and that's always so much fun, man.
Yeah. We're gonna have, and I found out some news on this actually. So Shane Bridges, Insane Shane, or Daddy Shane as he goes by now, is gonna go off against Ray Ivy, the authentic Ray Ivy. And he's gonna be coming in on Thursday actually.
Okay,
so
that's
you'll get a
awesome,
chance
man.
to
He's
meet him.
kind of an icon, a legend
Oh man, he's
among the circuit.
20 years in the business
Yeah.
and legendary chops.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows his.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna let you get one or take one or something.
Oh, okay. I can't wait.
But right. But they're gonna be going in the first ever Arkansas scaffolding match.
Okay, yeah, that's the one where they're going to be up high on the scaffold,
Yeah.
and you're trying to get the other person thrown off of it.
And I found out the other day that apparently this is the first time a scaffolding match has ever been done within wrestling in Arkansas.
Wow, that's pretty awesome, man. That's pretty exciting, really.
We're
Yeah.
making history at Ark
Yeah.
and Brawl already, you know.
That's cool. That's cool.
But no, man, a lot of great matches, and of course we got the main event, the legendary Angry Patrick
Yeah, baby. That's right.
going
I'ma
off
do it.
against
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
I mean buffet.
Jimmy Buffet.
Yeah, we're gonna close the buffet. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah, nobody's gonna be serving anything except ass whoopings. You know what I'm saying? So good luck to you on that.
And of course, as always, free event. So,
Yeah, no,
come
it
on, check it out. It's completely free. I haven't gotten any response from food trucks yet.
Okay, that's
so
fine.
I think we're just going to do,
Well, I know we're
hot dogs.
cooking free hot dogs and everything, but it's January 25th. That's a Saturday. What time is the event?
The event's going to start at first bell at noon. We're going to open up the doors here at 11 o'clock. Come out, meet the podcast co-host.
Meet everybody, meet the wrestlers, get pictures, bring the kids, bring the family, come out, have a good time.
Dads After Dark is going to be coming. They're going to be doing some commentary for us.
Cool,
so,
yeah.
And
this setup is really going to be cool because we've got an actual real ring in there. We're going to have seating for everyone. We're going to have the big scaffold thing, the walkways. I mean, it's going to be a dope ass setup, man.
Are we doing the? I know we talked about the VIP seating. Are we doing that?
Yes, to my knowledge, we are. Yeah, we're going to have some VIP seating up high in a unique location that we've got where you can see.
And I believe
right
just as a couple of days ago that we are going to live stream the entire event.
Is that right?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe that's the plan.
Well, that's. I know that they were working on it. You guys were talking about it on Saturday out here, kind of going through some logistics. So we should be able to have that thing out there for folks.
Absolutely.
To get a hold of it if they want it.
Mark your calendars, January 25th. You're gonna want to be here.
No, man, I'm fired up, man. I've been working on it. Got my trunks ordered. I got my fur coat coming. I'm doing it up, baby. I'm coming out the right way, huh?
Have you been, Rocky Balboa it? You chasing some chickens around for speed? And
something like that.
Yeah.
No, I to be honest with you, I don't feel like I have to hit the gym too hard for Jimmy Buffet. I think I got Jimmy. I'm all right.
Remember, he didn't have any trouble picking you up and slamming you through that table, man.
That's fine. I stood there and let him. So let's see what happens when I'm not willing.
Speaking of getting slammed through table, we ain't forgot about you, Rich. I tried to bring a table up here, everybody.
I saw that picture that you texted me yesterday of, will this work with rusty nails and everything? I wish we could have put that picture up right now. That thing just
put that up. That's hilarious. I thought that was funny.
Feel the tetanus shots that I would be getting from that picture, man. What did I do to you? Why are you trying to kill me, man?
Hey, I just thought we needed a table. I said, I've got a table back there behind my shed, so I went and dug that thing out.
Yeah.
And I knew it was a little shaky. I was like,
that's hilarious. That table, man, if you push it real hard, that table will fall over.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Hey, speaking about we were talking about Ark and Brawl and everything. Yesterday, switching gears a little bit, companies we'll just say, but yesterday, a huge night for WWE. They debuted on Netflix.
They did too, man. And I didn't get to see it, but you guys both came in saying, man, it was really a great throwback.
It was fun, dude. It was awesome to watch. I know Rich, watch wrestling pretty regularly, but I haven't watched it in like 15 years.
Right.
And it was awesome. I mean, it seemed like a big resurgence in the whole thing. They brought out some big names, had a lot of new faces.
Yeah. So The Rock was out there, John Cena was out there, but you said that somebody got booed out of this.
Yeah, I was going to say,
dude, Hogan got booed out of the building.
Hulkamania.
Unapologetically.
No Hulkamania.
He got out there and tried to do his flex and stuff, tried to get the crowd pumped up.
They just didn't want
booed him right out of the building. He had the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, waving the flag.
And it wasn't going to matter.
No,
they just said, we're done with Hulk out here.
At one point, I think Jimmy kind of patted him on the shoulder, like, come on.
Yeah, let's move along. It's not going to work out for you this time, big dog.
No.
That's got to feel.
He may as well have walked out in an NWO shirt.
Yeah,
right. That would have been the better ploy there.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it was not a good. I'm surprised to hear that. I guess. I mean, I didn't know. I thought that. Everybody was so excited he came back.
Well, I mean,
he was in Little Rock a few weeks ago, and everybody was stoked.
Yeah, they were all trying to get pictures. They were getting pictures.
Let's remember, this event took place in Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, that is true, too.
And, Hulk Hogan.
You would think a wrestling fan, though. I mean,
some people, he's had
look,
some controversial things that he said.
And I'm not going to sit here and defend any of that whatsoever, but I do think, I mean, how long ago was it? I mean, do you give a person a chance to change and evolve and become a better human and grow and reflect from it? I mean, how many years away from it has it been? Are they still holding on to that?
I will say, I feel like Hogan was the most gimmicky thing of the whole show last night.
yeah.
I mean, he got out there and
came out to promote the beer.
yeah, promoted his beer and I mean, read off a prompter what Netflix wanted him to say, and it was like, I don't know if that was the reason for the booze or it was just a natural reaction. Like, no, we don't like Hogan, we don't mess with him anymore.
Yeah.
But it was interesting.
It wasn't really until this morning that people started, commenting on my Facebook, and because I had posted a little thing about the show, and that I, knew of the political aspect of it between California and how they feel about Hulk Hogan. I thought it was because he came out and did the whole shameless plug thing.
Right.
I mean, they were booing
Maybe
so loud they had to mute the crowd sound.
Yeah.
Wow,
backstage.
that's got to be tough, man, to walk out in a big stadium like that and just have everybody hate your guy.
17,000 people.
Now, I'm sure he's been there before. I mean, he's played the heel, so he gets it. But it's got to be a little personal.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Let's see, what are people saying? Pumpman 501 said, good morning, peoples. What's up, man? Mike said, good morning, fellas. What's up? Good morning, Latasha. Carrie said, dog titty.
Dog titty.
Sean said, morning. What's up, man? And Lindsay said, good morning. Good morning to all of you, and thank you for being here and listening and watching and all that. We appreciate it.
On the Facebook feed, Darren Riggin said, what up, fam? Cheers.
Oh, yeah, man. I Darren, man, him and his band, Death Metal Disco. I got to introduce them at Tiki Fingers the other night.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell of a show, man.
Yeah.
Just a hell of a show, man. People they packed it out. It was standing room only, and they went nuts. I mean, the guys in the band, though, they've been staple members of the local music scene for years here, and they're really super well respected by other bands. And so you had a lot of I bet there were 8 different bands that showed up to support them.
Yeah, that's dope.
Just because they respect them so much as musicians. And
Nice.
and that's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's really
That's
cool.
always
Yeah.
cool to see.
Drew Allen says good morning. So good morning, Drew.
Also in Death Metal Disco.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Michael Glover, he's from Dad's After Dark.
Yeah,
He's
what's
tuning
up,
in and
Mike?
listening. So
Okay.
what's up?
Yeah.
I caught their show last night, and it was good, man.
Good.
Catching up with them. I know you and I are gonna try and make it on there here soon.
Yeah.
so.
Next couple Mondays we'll be on Dad's After Dark. Hang out there with them and cut up and have a little good time.
You had a question too on here. They said somebody was at Only Zeus says, I'm just asking if you need a video editor at all for like your live stream podcast, turn in content. I don't know if you're looking for any help or what.
Absolutely, man. Reach out to us for sure. You can email me, patrick@patrickandthepeople.com.
Cool.
Would love to have somebody that was hands-on doing stuff like that for us. Right now it's pretty skeletal. It's Gunner and myself and Brandon behind the scenes doing all of those things. So yeah, absolutely. Please message us up. Hit me with an email, hit me on Facebook, Messenger, whatever. And I'd love to talk to you about it. It'd be great.
Awesome. Man, I'll tell you what, I had a great Christmas and New Year's. I think the thing I'm looking the most forward to is the kiddo goes back to school on Wednesday.
Man, you said something that I did not know, which is that
was interesting.
that they've converted now in Hot Springs at least to year-round school.
Yes. Yeah, in Hot Springs School District.
Tommy Pinko dirty bastards.
Yeah.
Man.
I am not a fan. I am not. It is
of course,
screwed
who
up.
would be?
Like the schedule, this whole. So they go to school for 6 weeks, and then they get a week off, and then they go to school for 6 weeks, and then a week
what is
off.
the benefit of this?
What do they expect the parents to do for the week off that they get every 6 weeks?
I mean, lucky for me, and again, I always say this, I'm blessed and grateful to be able to work from home.
That's so.
But I guess I'm trying to figure out what the benefit is. Now, I know what someone might say. Well, we're so behind educationally. Yeah, but you know what? Let me tell you something. We went to school for, 7 hours a day when I was a kid. Yeah. And everybody came out reading, writing, and doing math. And maybe if we get back to reading, writing, and doing math instead of, talking about everyone's feelings and their genders and whatever else the hell's going on, maybe if we just learn reading, writing, and math. But yesterday, I had a story, you may have seen it, in New Jersey, and this is 100% true. They literally passed a law there where that teachers in New Jersey no longer required to pass a basic writing, reading, and math test.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Think about that.
So what are they teaching? What are they teaching? I guess it doesn't matter if you're teaching other
Themselves along with the class?
I don't know what they're teaching there, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. But I'm telling you, in in the next 10 to 20 years, it's all going to go online. It's all going to be, it's all going to be home based, man. Because you can't, I mean, think about that. You're going to hire teachers that can't pass a basic reading, writing, and math test.
Right.
And they said it's because it's, causing hiring problems. I'm like, well, then go somewhere else.
Right.
I'm sure.
Find other people, pay more, do something. That's crazy to me, man.
More attractive to be a teacher, how about?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man.
And they deserve it, really. Like,
no, of course they do.
If anybody deserves, if there's any occupation out there that deserves to have some eyes put on it and figure out how to make it
absolutely
more worth it and attractive, I say it's teaching.
Yeah, I think you're going to end up with a handful of teachers and people doing large internet courses is what's going to happen.
It'll be
so what you think instead of like school of choice, we'll go to teacher of choice,
Maybe. I mean,
and
probably pick
Mm-hmm.
your unit curriculum as long as it matches up with whatever they got to do, and just take them at home. We just got to figure out.
You'll be able
or
to
they could even do it. Still use the school. But use the digital learning, where the teacher's not in the class itself,
But didn't we try that during COVID? And isn't that, I mean, because this was sold to me as this is being done to combat all that happened during COVID and everybody falling behind. So
it's not going to combat it. I mean, it's not. What will combat it is getting back to basic education things that actually make sense instead of questioning everything in the world. When you introduce Common Core. And you go, hey, you can't carry the one anymore in math. It's like, why? It works.
What are you talking about?
It's always worked. It still works. Why would I not do that? Of course I'm going to carry the one, you dumbass. But, we outsmart ourselves.
Yeah, the Common Core, I'm not 100% familiar with it, but it just seems like
it's a lot of extra work.
Need extra work?
Right.
Were we not already killing ourselves trying to figure out math?
Were. It was already a struggle.
Let's make this harder.
And what they said is, you can't show your work when you carry the one. Well, I don't need to. I have the right answer. Why do I need to show anything? It works. It's fail proof. Well, and speaking of new generations, ready or not, a new generation is here. Kids born between 2025 and 2039 are going to be part of Generation Beta.
Generation Beta.
The Beta generation. Yeah. Now, so here are some predictions for what they'll experience in their lifetime that's different than us. Now, this report came from Prudential. They're an insurance company, investment company. And they revealed the results of a survey of over 2,000 adults and what their thoughts are. So half of respondents believe cancer will be cured by Gen Beta.
I don't think so.
No.
I think it's too lucrative of a business.
I was just about to say.
For them to cure.
Unless they decide to allow cancer to be cured, it ain't being cured.
Well, there's a lot of money in the treatment of diseases.
Right.
It's hard for them to give you a cure. They don't like to very much, do they?
Right.
The last time they did it was polio.
Yeah.
Everything else now you have to manage it. It never really goes away, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
More than 2/3, 71%, think Gen Beta will have access to individualized health care based on their DNA. That's an interesting thought. I mean, and it does make sense that we've learned a lot in the past, especially 20 years, about, how much impact DNA has, because, it was always weird to us that somebody who never drank would die of cirrhosis, and someone who drinks a day would just keep going until they're old. And that's all DNA. And so, sometimes you can throw everything out the window if DNA has you either predisposed or not disposed to it.
And that's some of the first things that like a doctor will tell you nowadays is like get a DNA test to see what you are naturally deficient in. You might be taking these vitamins for shit that you don't need.
Well, right. And that's I think that, and here's another thing too that's pretty fascinating. Antidepressants, the way they're prescribed, it's still very stupid. It's just trial and error.
Right.
They don't know what'll work for you.
Yeah, no,
you take it
and
you try it for a few weeks, see if it works, and see if you get suicidal or whatever's going to happen. Because
see if you make it or you don't.
Yeah, but you can literally. There's a medical clinic, and I'm trying to remember where it is, but where they'll do a brain scan, and it tells exactly what
Right.
chemicals
Well,
your
yeah.
brain would respond to, and so you would know exactly what antidepressant that would be effective for
Right.
someone. And so until we
It's
can
no
get that,
guesswork.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what we need to do is get that technology out more.
And I was gonna say, there's a doctor I know of that I heard of in Hot Springs that does some
Yeah.
it's called like gene pool testing or whatever.
Okay, yeah,
But essentially, they can take your blood and then look at the way like your enzymes break down in your
Yeah.
liver or whatever, and it'll tell them exactly like.
I
Yeah.
do think it's funny, like us as a society, we're finally like, oh yeah, we each need like specific individual
Yeah.
needs. You can't just throw a blanket over us.
No,
Like,
you
man,
don't
that's a
say.
good idea. We
Right?
don't say that.
Right?
Like,
You
man,
don't
that's so
say.
surprising that
No.
works. Like,
I mean, we're real close to some Star Trek shit, you know,
Yeah,
where they
dude,
have
we're
the
right
medical device and they just
We're
scan
right
you and
there.
tell you, you know,
Yeah,
it's
100%.
we're right there. We're right there.
Right on the edge.
Let's see. Gen Beta will have jobs that haven't even been invented yet, according to 86% of people polled. Well, that probably makes sense. Someone's going to
Yeah.
have to repair the robots and fix
Right.
those and,
Right.
you know, all the new technology that we don't even see around the curve for yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that, I mean, think about just how far it's come in the past 20 years, just since you were a kid.
Yeah.
How much has technology changed since you were a kid?
Oh man, I feel like
Oh,
I was
gosh.
born in '92, and I feel like I was born in such a weird time because I got a bunch of the new stuff along with a bunch of the old
Yeah,
stuff.
but
But
now,
I mean, home phones, CB radios, record players, tape players. Like I got all
big
that
old
stuff.
PCs,
Yeah, oh yeah, all
Yeah.
that. But
giant
also-
microwaves. What about, did you have, you didn't have VCRs then, did you?
Oh yeah, we had
you did?
VCRs.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember the transition from VCRs to where you could buy a VCR and DVD player in the
Yeah,
same
combo,
time.
yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that was the shit. If you had that,
Yeah.
you were
No,
doing
you were
good,
you were
yeah.
pimping.
The
Yeah.
VCR side always broke too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always. Every single one.
I love my mom, but she sent me a DVD for Christmas. Me and my wife looked at it and said, "What are we going to do with that? I don't have a DVD player.
Yeah, there's nothing in my house that will play.
No, I don't have a game. I don't have a system. I got nothing to play. I couldn't play a VCR or a DVD.
Yep.
Nothing. Cassette.
Yeah.
You
And I
CD?
mean, obviously.
I guess I could put a CD in my car. I think it still has, for some reason, a CD player.
See, we bought a 2019 RAV4, no CD player.
No CD.
Yeah,
player.
none?
No.
No. But yeah, obviously the phone being the biggest technological difference.
That's been a giant jump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember my mother had a bag car phone.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
the airstrike
Yep.
phone.
And I remember that was fancy. Like we got a
Oh,
phone
no, that was
in
cool.
the car.
No, that was
outside
cool.
of
You
the
were
house that
dope.
we don't have to put a quarter in.
No,
Like,
you were pimping then.
Yeah. And have you tried to use a payphone in the past 10 years? Like none of them work.
I don't. Is there one? I didn't even know there were any.
Yeah, there's a few in Conway. None
Oh.
of them are in service.
No, I would
Yeah.
imagine so. I mean, who uses a payphone? I mean, for God's sake, how bad is it?
I was stranded for gas like 5 or 7 years ago, something like that.
Oh,
and
and-
for some reason didn't have a phone.
And you couldn't find
I
a.
was like, oh, there's no worries, payphone right there and go. It's
Uh-uh.
like, no, dude, ain't nobody using
No,
it.
that ain't working. That ain't gonna do it. All right, let's see.
Hey.
2/3. Yeah.
Oh no.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
What you got, Rich?
Oh no. Just a comment here.
Yeah, read it.
Let me see. Where'd it go here? Brandon Jack said he's already paying off Generation Master Beta.
Oh yeah, that's good, man. I see what you're saying there. I think I see what you did. Yeah. Let's see. All right, 6 in 10 think the government will actually stop printing cash because Gen Beta won't use it. Well,
That doesn't surprise me. I mean,
we're 95% cashless now.
I was gonna say,
we're
like-
there. We're there.
I mean,
It's like,
I don't want it to go completely cashless, but something will replace it. I mean, you know, there's never going to be a time where people aren't going to have some form of currency on the side.
well, and
yeah.
I was gonna say it was a surprise to me. Like when we've gone to the Travelers baseball games, it's a completely cashless facility.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we just
A
went
lot of
to,
the way to pay.
Memphis for the Liberty Bowl, same way.
Yeah.
A lot of places won't take it anymore. You're
Yeah.
right. You know,
So
and it is wild, but you know, it makes me a little nervous because once they get you completely off cash, then they can say, well, some things we have to control your spending
Right.
on.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
So,
and
let me ask you this though. It's like
Yeah.
I feel like generations before us probably said the same thing when they went to
Probably.
cash. When they went to cash, 'cause first they're trading gold and silver, things
Yeah.
of actual value. and
you're
then we go
probably
to these
right.
Paper notes, these don't really have value.
Yeah,
well,
you're-
neither does Bitcoin or crypto or any of that. It's just
No.
it's a weird transition.
Well,
It's a
we're
weird
gonna see.
transition. You're right.
You know, and everybody thinks in the same thing, but on the flip side of that token, like, do y'all remember? Gosh, it was years ago. But up there in Michigan, and like half of the east coast of the U.S. had a blackout.
Okay.
Like all the power went down for like 3 days.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Okay. When there's no electricity and all your money's on a card, guess what you are?
Yeah.
You're
Broke.
nothing. You're nothing.
You're
don't-
broke. You ain't got a dime to your name.
And that is a problem, for sure. That is a serious issue for people. It's like, I keep wanting to try Bitcoin and crypto coin and all that stuff, but I'm like, I can't touch it.
Yeah.
I can't see it. And it makes me
Right,
nervous.
right.
Yep.
It makes me nervous that I can never touch it or see it.
Right.
Now, I know people say, well, same with your cash in the bank. But I can go get that out.
I mean, yeah.
I can hold it in my hand. I can get that machine to spit it out.
Right.
I cannot get it to spit a Bitcoin out.
Right.
No matter what I do, and that makes me a little anxious.
Well, I mean, hey, if you invest in Hawk 2 a coin, you can just spit in your hand and
Yeah, no, that's yeah.
Well, that is what's crazy about it is it's up to $100,000 Bitcoin specifically. It's like, man, that's interesting.
It's
wild,
wild, isn't it?
It's wild. It's wild.
I think probably it's highly supported by things that you wouldn't want to know about.
Yeah, exactly.
That
That's,
keep that currency buoyed.
yeah.
Things that happen underground on the dark web, places like that,
yeah.
where this currency
well,
really moves a lot.
Mm-hmm.
that's I just don't understand where it's spent on. Or
I mean, I don't have a bunch of friends spending Bitcoin that I know of. Now, I
Right.
could be wrong. I could have a lot of friends using Bitcoin, but
Yeah. Now,
I don't-
invest in it,
yeah.
when it's lucrative, back in 2021, it dropped like almost
Yeah.
13,000,
Sure.
something like that. I try to, with all things, just remain unemotional about it. Whether
That's
I
the
like
best
it or
way to
don't.
go.
If it's
No, I mean,
lucrative, then
yeah.
I'm about it.
No, that's the best
If
way
you can
to
make
go.
$1 off of it, then,
Yeah.
Kelly Meg says her side of the argument is the bank is FDIC insured. What is Bitcoin backed by? You don't have any insurance.
No,
Yeah,
I mean
nobody.
it's backed by nothing itself. That's my
Yeah.
thing. It makes me anxious. So I don't know. That may change. But
Right.
okay, let's see what else here. 2/3 believe this generation will have more pets than kids. 86% say the nuclear family will not be the most common type of family in the future.
The nuclear family?
Yeah, the
Like preppers? People that are.
no, like mom, dad, 2 kids. That's
Oh.
quote unquote a nuclear family.
I mean,
Do you think that that's true? That the traditional family is going the way of
and that's true now.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, as someone with 3 dogs and no kids, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's true for sure.
now? Is it? I mean, obviously, it's choice that you're not having kids,
Right.
but without getting into too deep water, is that something that y'all have actively discussed many times and just have made a
For
concerted
sure.
decision, or
for sure. I think I think everybody's perception of time is a little skewed.
Sure, of
we,
course,
we
yeah.
come from a small town where everybody gets pregnant and married at 18,
right?
And we just thought, well, let's
Let's
take our
not do
time.
that.
take
Let's
our
not
time.
do
There's
that.
no rush.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. And everybody acts like the 30s are just way too old to have kids or do anything, and I still
Yeah.
feel pretty
No,
damn
man,
young at
I'm-
32. you
No,
know.
that's fine. Yeah.
But yeah, it has been a concerted, conscious effort.
Yeah.
We try to think into the
Now, do
future.
you
and-
think that in the future you may want to do
Oh,
that?
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do want kids eventually.
See, I didn't have my first son until I was 30, almost 30,
Yeah.
and that was by design.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared. I didn't want it.
If I'd have had a kid at 18 or 20
Oh
or
my God,
23,
I'd have destroyed them.
oh my God, it'd be horrible.
No,
And somebody raised without a father figure in their life, it's like that's the last thing that I
No,
wanted to put out in the world.
Right.
So,
no. My mom, every time we got in the car from the time I was 13 till I left the house, I'd hear the condom lecture.
yeah.
It was effective. I mean,
Right,
it did work. I was
right.
29 before I had the first one, and I didn't
Yeah.
have any scares.
yeah.
So, all right, let's see. 6 in 10 think oh, no, we did that one. Hold on. When it comes to technology, 71% of prospective Gen Beta parents predict AI will replace teachers. Well, there you go. That's what we were kind of talking about.
Yeah, I see that.
Nearly
Predicted that and didn't need a study.
46% think space will be the most popular vacation destination. I don't think so. It's not logistically, feasibly cost efficient in any way. Even with SpaceX and all that, right now, you don't have a means to, maybe for the richest people on the planet.
Right.
But first of all, you have to have somewhere to go. You know, what are you going to go up to the space station and get stuck there like those astronauts for a few weeks, months, or years, whatever?
I think all of our space effort should be concentrated on the flat Earth community. We should take every one of them up first.
Yeah,
before we do it.
Right.
And be like,
Great
look,
idea.
look,
Yeah.
now shut up.
No, I saw a dude on TV the other day. He had went on the ocean to prove that the Earth was flat, and he was like,
that.
"Well, I guess I was wrong." Yeah, you think?
You were.
You
You were.
think, dumbass? Yeah, it's not flat. Okay.
Have
Yeah,
you,
no, but I'm the one. I'm the dummy because I think the Earth is round, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you just don't know. The government's tricky. Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
Absolutely. They want me to think it's round for what reason again?
I'm just waiting to see the commercials on TV for come see Disney World on Mars this summer.
Yeah. No, it ain't happening. It's not happening. They'll come up with time travel before you're going to Mars.
Right?
Yeah, no. Let's see. Close to half of respondents don't think Gen Beta will ever retire in the future, considering the estimate they'll need 1.88 million to retire. I don't think that's the case, but I think already. I mean, look,
again, that's another current thing that's going on.
It really is because, if you go back 50 years ago, at somewhere between 50 and 60, normally people quit working.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
They just stopped.
Right.
Yeah.
And they took their Social Security and they just did what they did from there, lived life, did this, did that. That's not the case anymore most of the time. Most people probably
70s.
work until they can't.
Mm-hmm.
What, retirement age now is it 70
It's
something?
like 67,
Yeah.
but it's changing. I mean, it's going up, and I assume by the time I get there, have to be 85 to get
Right.
any kind of Social Security.
I like how life expectancy goes down, retirement age goes up.
Right.
That's a funny, that's
Yeah.
a funny balance.
Well, the most recent thing affected that. I mean, technically, life expectancy's up, but because of the pandemic,
Right.
it went down for a few years,
Right.
but now it's back where it's
those
supposed to be.
those numbers are skewed. At
I mean,
the
look,
least.
medically speaking, we are living longer.
Oh yeah.
There's a huge challenge right now. The big challenge is that you've got people living longer and they have enough medication and things to be here,
right.
but not always enough to be able to take care of self.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is a big challenge that we're facing, I
Yeah,
think.
the nursing home owners are raking that money in on all of us, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, if that's where you're going with it, some people, take their family in, some people
Right.
do a nursing home, which, I get if there's just no other alternative, or if you hate their guts,
Yeah.
but otherwise I couldn't,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I
that's,
couldn't just chunk them in a
No, that's one
facility.
of my biggest goals in life is to
Not be in a nursing home.
Well, not to have my mother in a nursing home.
Oh,
well.
And my mother's young now, but it's just
Yeah.
something
I'll
I
put
grew
her
up
in a
with.
nursing home tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh man, I grew up with. I was blessed to grow up with 4 great grandparents.
Oh wow! No, I did not.
Yeah, seeing your family members go to a nursing home, that's hard to see. And they don't pay them anything. They give those guys peanuts in nursing homes. So,
No, my grandmother, but she had Alzheimer's and dementia,
Right,
and she went to a facility like
Uh-huh.
that, but she didn't. I mean, she knew who I was,
Right,
but
right.
almost nobody else in grandkids. She often
Right,
didn't know.
yeah,
I was the first, so she always knew who I was. But it was weird because, the last few months she was alive, I went up there and she would think she would ask about my previous wife.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How's she doing?
Yeah. I don't know. I got rid of that bitch, Grandma.
I'm trying to forget about her too.
Yeah. Let's see. 80% of those surveyed say parents of Gen Beta should start saving for their kids' retirement at birth. Well, I think, that's a good idea for anybody if you can do it. I mean,
Right.
it's hard,
I mean,
especially in this economy hell, you're barely trying to cover your own retirement,
Yeah.
much less thinking about your kids.
Right.
But I
kind of
do,
weird though how that's changed because used to be you want to save for your kids to go to college. Now it's
Yeah.
you want to save for them to be able to even retire.
Right.
well, yeah, I mean, it is an interesting thing,
Yeah.
how it's evolved, and just like when I was young, everybody left home at 18.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you
Oh, yeah,
didn't
that was-
stick
Yep.
around.
Nope.
You weren't hanging out.
No.
I literally got a broken plate in a wrap package for my 18th birthday.
Yeah.
I said, here you go.
Yep. See you later.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd left at 16, came back at late 17, and then left again. But yeah, now, kids are staying home much longer, which
Oh, yeah.
I
I
personally,
encourage,
I
I mean-
like it.
I feel like it's a good thing,
Yeah.
honestly. And you talk to people from other countries, and they're like, yeah, that's more of an American thing.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, and I get it. You want to be independent and all that. And I do think we've lost some of that.
Right.
But I do love the fact that I'm still very close with my sons.
Yeah, no,
One
that's
of
awesome.
them,
Oh, yeah.
one of them's still home, and I have the luxury of him being able to graduate Barber College and
Yeah.
stay at home and be able to do that.
And
that's
you
nice.
see that more and more, and it feels like the family dynamic in those situations is better. Like,
It
you
is
know,
better.
Right.
It is better, man. My family dynamic wasn't like that. I mean,
not
look,
at all.
my parents weren't my friends.
No, exactly.
Not as a kid. I mean,
Right.
later in life they did, but
Same.
they weren't my friends. They no.
Yeah,
Right.
I left the house at 17. It was the same. I was screwing up, My
Yeah.
parents said, you can't live here if you're doing that.
Yeah, no, I got
and that
kicked out
was-
at 16
Yeah.
and went and worked full time and went to
Yep.
high school. And, that's just what you did then.
Yep.
That doesn't make it a good idea.
Right.
And it wasn't a good idea for anybody involved
Yeah.
in my equation,
Yeah.
But certainly now, I like spending time with my sons.
No,
They're
man.
they're cool people.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean they are my friends now.
Right.
Now I'm still a parent, but I mean they're grown,
Right.
and we worked hard to maintain a very good. Well, I mean we still disciplined our kids or did the things we had to do
Right.
to
Right.
get them through this whatever they needed to get through. But we developed meaningful, real relationships with them because we wanted them.
Right.
My dad, children are meant to be seen, not
Not
heard.
heard. Yeah.
I mean that's
Yep.
100%.
at dinner,
Again, that was that generations.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about that earlier. The difference in,
Yeah, I mean, I remember being a kid. You didn't talk at the dinner table unless you were spoken to.
Yeah, 1,000.
You know that.
time
was
you
my
had your
favorite.
own table, the kids'
Sometimes
table.
you did, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yep.
you did, yeah. Especially if you went to other family members' house, they put you over at
That's what I'm
a
saying.
table like you're
Right.
going to get thrown through. But let's see who else is talking to us. Let's see. Kelly said, "How's Jersey and his chickens?" Kelly, Jersey had some health issues, and I don't know how he is. He was really having some challenges.
Hope is doing all right.
I do too. Care a great deal about him, but he was really battling some significant health issues
Yeah.
last I understood. Tiffany said good morning. Hey, good morning. Keith said good morning. See, I'm glad I had my boys when I was 19, but starting over with another one in my 30s after I felt like they were almost grown and out, that sucked. Now they're all adults. Yeah, no, that late one that shows up or that's tough. There's always been Flat Richard because God created it that way to be flat.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay. Or is that you? You're Flat Richard?
No, that's my brother.
Oh, it is. Okay.
I don't know what in the world he's trying to talk about there.
Matt
but
said Dad got his Social Security after 30 years of working at,
he's talking about
Guscraft.
Guscraft. That was
Yeah.
my dad, our dad.
yeah.
And yeah, he was a delivery driver for 30 years at a local
Yeah.
printing company
And
I mean,
retired. And
yeah,
probably had
and
a decent-
retired.
Yeah, because back then you'd have a retirement, a pension. I mean,
I mean,
things like that.
Really, like back in my younger child days, like
Mhm.
my mom worked, my dad worked. They both worked,
Yeah.
40-hour full-time jobs. It was a good life, but then life happens. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just is. It is what it is. Yeah. Did your mom work or did she?
Oh yeah. My mom. It was me and her for a little while, and then she got with my stepdad. They both worked at a factory in Conway. Both still work there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, still work at the same
Yeah,
factory?
Yep, still working
Wow.
at the factory. Yeah,
That's
they
crazy.
sell antiques on the side. My stepdad's worked there since he was 18.
I wonder how many people right now have been at a job over 20 years.
Oof.
How many do you know that have been at a job over 20 years now?
Man, they would.
Do you know anybody other than your parents?
Just my parents.
Yeah.
And maybe my wife's mom. Yeah.
That's it. The
Yeah,
parents. That's
Yeah,
it.
Just the parents.
Yeah, because nobody else
Yeah, I
is going
don't-
to stay that long anywhere. First of
No.
all, a lot of companies don't make it, but
Right.
But secondly, you're like, yeah, I can get better pay somewhere else. I'm out.
Oh,
You
and
know.
I think people hate, just like I'm talking about my parents working at a factory. I think people hate looking down that barrel of, man, I'm going to come to the same building for the
Every
next
day.
20 years, every single day.
Well, isn't that the same argument about being married?
Yeah, I guess so. You got
All right, let's do something different here for a minute, shall we? We need to do something. All right. Hey, I do want to mention that if you're looking for heat and air, check out cabotmechanical.com. Look, this isn't the time to have your heater go out. It's very cold, and it's a problem. Will you close that door over there? Getting a little feedback. It can be a big problem. You don't want to be without your heat. So get it checked out, get it tuned up, or if you have a problem and you need it diagnosed, just go to cabotmechanical.com. David Lindsay over there, he's been on the show more than once. Very, very good people, and he'll take very good care of you. Check them out over there. They will not let you down. I guess that we need to do this. Hold on one second. Oh, you hear
what
that
is
in the
going
back?
on?
Well, they're doing work. Yeah. Imagine that. Let's see what we got here. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
This is the segment, not like the other. People do stupid shit, you say, oh brother. Hey, it's not a copy or a clone of any previous bit. But if you think so, hey, we don't give a shit. Yeah. Wackadoo, then the news.
I had my people talk to the Grammy nominee, and
Oh, did
we're
you?
going to see if we can get a special category
Just for
created
that.
just for, Jingles
No,
podcast.
that's fantastic. I'm hopeful for that.
They were super interested, man. They were.
Sure, everybody's
They
interested.
said as soon as they can get a category, man, it's
Yeah.
an award
I think
winner
it's-
for sure.
Yeah, it's like I think it's number 5 now. It was number 1 on iTunes for
Well,
2 months. But Russia is ripping open the coffers in hopes of addressing the country's catastrophic birth rate crisis. The Ukraine war has resulted in heavy casualties and a mass exodus. So they say as a result, fewer babies than ever are being born. So to address it, some female college students are being offered cash incentives to get knocked up and give birth. These days, a brand spanking new and healthy baby will get a girl 100,000 rubles. That's about $910, by the way. The offer is open to full-time college students under the age of 25. $900. Man, that's not even enough to have sex. I mean, much less have a baby. I mean, wow, that's crazy. Is the viral 75 hard workout challenge for you? In 2019, the 75 hard workout challenge became a thing on TikTok. It's survived ever since, particularly a thing at the beginning of each year when people give themselves resolutions. Well, you know what they all are. But you stick to a healthy diet, no cheat meals or alcohol. On each of the 75 days, you have to work out 45 minutes twice a day, drink at least 3 liters of water daily, and it says read 10 pages of a nonfiction book each day. Obviously, a serious time commitment that goes on with it. Yeah, that's. I guess if you got time to do it, that's great. That's great.
It is a good like little workout routine program thing. I mean,
Is it?
I tried it.
Okay.
I didn't make it, but I tried it.
Yeah, say, I didn't make it, but I tried it. Fair. If you hadn't found a business idea yet, and hey, everybody needs to be an entrepreneur at some point in their life.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's a Polish entrepreneur. Her name's Alexandra Kasperek. She said she realized one day that sometimes people just need a hug. So she opened up a professional cuddling salon. The Snuggle Center opened up 2 years ago. It's grown so popular, there's a wait list of days to get an appointment for a 1-hour snuggle session. There's no hanky-panky. There's no sex allowed, nothing like that.
I don't believe her.
Right.
I don't believe her.
The rules customers have to agree to make it clear crossing boundaries leads to immediate end to the session. She said the service is most popular with people between 40 and 60, and it's 37 for an hour and 72 for a couple of them. What do you think? Professional cuddling? Do you need a cuddler?
This isn't the first time that I've heard about something like this, though.
No,
Like-
it's not necessarily new, but it is, I figured it'd be gone by now.
I mean, why not?
Okay.
Why not? I can't say that hey, if I wasn't ever, like, man, I could just use a hug.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
God damn, just call me, Rich. I'll give you a hug.
No,
Don't
man,
go pay a
you'll
lady.
kill me.
Don't go pay a lady.
I've seen the pictures of the
$37.
tables that you want to put me through. Jeez.
Yeah, it must be tough come by hugs these days. I don't know.
I mean,
A town in England has a banana mystery on its hands. In Beeston, plates loaded with peeled bananas are being left by a roadside every month, and it's been going on for a year. One resident figured out they're left on the 2nd each month, so she left a sign at the spot reading, "Please, respectfully, no more bananas." The uncontrolled plates or uncollected plates and rotting bananas leave such a mess. Wishing a happy new year to you all. No one has a clue why the bananas are appearing or who's behind it.
she is missing an excellent opportunity for herself here. Don't you know bananas on picture frames sell for like millions of dollars?
Oh, that's true, man. And
I
it's
mean,
art.
come on, you've got a free unlimited supply.
That is art. That's definitely art. You're right about that. All right. Kevin O'Leary, Shark Tank. You know who that
Yeah.
is?
Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually working on a deal to buy TikTok.
Oh, yeah?
He told Fox News, Martha McCallum, that he'll need Trump's help to make it happen. He said Trump will be who we have to work with to close the deal in the months ahead. On X, the investor also added that former Dodgers owner Frank McCourt would be his partner in the deal. He said it's not just about buying TikTok's U.S. assets. It's about something bigger, protecting the privacy of 170 million American users.
Oh, I'm
well,
sure.
from China, not
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's okay if it's the U.S. to snoop on you, just
Say
not
what
China,
you'd rather
right?
have,
Right.
China or Mr. Wonderful the shark.
I mean, come on, man. A Missouri man was seen going 107 miles an hour on I-35 and pulled over. He was driving on, guess what? A suspended license. That's right.
Surprise.
The reason he gave for speeding probably won't help him at all. Dakota Crater told police he wasn't aware he was speeding because he was playing a video game while driving. What a moron. What an absolute, utter moron.
My bad. I was playing Fortnite.
Right. My bad.
I'm sorry, I was GTA in here. Police
Grabbed the
didn't,
wrong controller.
police didn't ask what game he was playing or if he set a high score. Police in Nagasaki, Japan arrested a 40-year-old man for assault after he hit his buddy on the head with a bottle at a bar. While that's a go-to move in action movies, he wasn't using a special effects bottle and injured his friend's head. When police asked the 40-year-old if he hit his friend, he admitted he had. When they asked why, they said his answer was incoherent. Yeah, in other words, he's drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. He's drunk idiots. That's what they do.
Drunk fight.
Yeah. Oh, try not to kill us there, man.
Hey, you know.
All right. Here we go. This is what you need at the ski slope right here. This is great. A story disputed by historians claims that when hold on a second. No, this is going to be too long and convoluted, so I'll just give you the headline, and it says, hold on. The headline is California ski resort owner puts up giant Virgin Mary statue. That's all you need to know. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
This lady is pissed off. She has a woman on TikTok has revealed how she navigates life with her extraordinarily long acrylic nails. They're 4 feet long, by the way.
Jesus.
A lot of people ask me if my nails are heavy and how I work with them. But honestly, once you start wearing them, you gain all this finger muscle. It doesn't feel heavy at all. In a clip updated on January 3rd, the nail enthusiast explained her desire to have long nails with 156 charms attached to them. This may be my longest set yet, literally as long as my torso. Despite the length, she brags about her ability to do tasks like cook, take care of her 4 kids, including her newborns. She said, if I can take care of a baby with these nails, what makes you think I can't do anything else? She admitted to using her nails as cooking utensils when stirring in the kitchen. That's disgusting. That's
That was enough for me.
I just assume if you're a long nail enthusiast that you're also a cocaine enthusiast.
maybe.
That's how she's getting all that shit done.
Although impressed with her ability to do much with her nails, TikTok couldn't help but notice the dark-colored substance under her nails. One said, "Is that doo-doo?"
Oh.
Oh my God, I can see the picture of him, dude.
Yeah.
Look at that, Rich.
That's just look at it.
Christ. You're not getting nothing done.
Yeah,
with
there's
that
something
shit.
mentally wrong with
Yeah,
this
you're not
person.
getting
For real.
Look, if you're growing your fingernails 4 feet long, you have mental issues.
Look
I'd
like
love to see her wipe her ass.
Edward Scissorhands.
They say that that's not a problem for them, but it's
I'm
hard for
sure.
me to believe that.
I'm sure.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I
that.
mean, as someone who's wiped their ass his whole life, I think that's a challenge. Let's see. No, one second.
Hey, what up, Paul? Paul Barnett. He just popped in on Facebook.
Good
So
morning,
that's
Paul.
nice, So.
Oh, there we go. No, that's going to the wrong thing there. Oh well, I guess that story doesn't matter.
that story's
It's a good headline, but it kept going to the wrong story, so that's out. All right, let's move on and do something else now, shall we? All right. Yeah, I got some other stuff here.
Oh, this is new.
Oh, you like that? Yeah, I got. I put a few new ones in there
Yeah?
to break it up a little bit.
All right.
I
Yeah.
like it.
Here, that's good driving music right there.
That is, man.
Nice.
Yeah, it's got a lot of nice grunge
I
to
could be
it.
doing 107 miles an hour and playing a video game right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Feel pretty good. Okay. Hey, this is some good news, and you probably need to know it. The van has announced a partnership with the city of Little Rock and has opened winter shelters. After news broke Friday that the van had reached a snag in opening a winter shelter, they announced they renewed their partnership with the city to get a shelter opened ahead of winter weather. Aaron Redden, you know Aaron. He's been in here. He's been a friend of mine for many years. He founded and operates the van. He shared the news online Saturday afternoon, thanking everyone who made calls, sent email, and showed they care for the almost 700 people he says are unsheltered right now.
Shout out Aaron
That's
Redden,
awesome, man.
Yeah, shout out
Absolutely.
Aaron Redden.
And
I
he's
can't say
been-
enough about that dude.
He's been really popping up in the news a little bit everywhere
Oh yeah,
lately, and things are really popping
he's been
for
on the
him.
news almost every night.
Yeah, that's
for
what
sure.
I'm. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
that's awesome, man.
look, it's dangerous out there. I mean, you imagine. I don't even want to walk to my car.
No, there,
Yeah.
he says,
I don't want to wait for the heat to warm up in my
said
car.
there was 7 amputees in one weekend last year after
From
one winter.
frostbite?
Yep.
Yeah, that's terrible,
That's
Yep.
sad.
and it's unnecessary.
It is.
They said we're working on it. There'll be a plan out quickly. We'll be opening in Little Rock. There's also one that's happening in North Little Rock, and then one in Jacksonville also. The city said the Dunbar Community Center will be a temporary, well, it was Sunday night. The van is still working on a permanent shelter after plans to purchase a building it fell through. But I think he's got something now, doesn't he?
Well, he had that building, the one that fell through.
Yeah.
That was one I was talking about last time I was here. And yeah, it came down to like the guy who's listed on record as owning it cannot provide any proof of ownership or any
That's a big
documentation.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you don't have a title,
Yeah.
it's a problem. It's like, I'd like to say this car. Do you have a title? Sure
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one.
Oh no, man.
Yeah, dude, Aaron though, man, if not for him, I don't know that the city would have made any
I
arrangements.
mean, here's
for the
what
people.
I don't understand. I know there have to be buildings out there that
Oh, do you know how many
are
vacant
abandoned, vacant, and
buildings?
not being used at all.
Oh, yeah.
Where that surely somebody who owns it somewhere could go, here, you can use
Use
this,
it.
you can have this, you can do whatever with it.
And I know people don't just want people, running ragged over there or squatting on their stuff, but it's like, man, if you look at how many vacant rooms are in Little Rock versus how many people live outside in Little Rock, it's
Yeah.
like, can we not meet in
Well,
the
I
middle
do
somewhere?
understand. It is a tough debate at times because sometimes folks are homeless for reasons that make it difficult for them to be around other people.
Right.
They may have issues. They may have drug
Right.
addiction, alcohol addiction, a lot of different issues that
Right.
can make that a challenge. Could be a criminal element. I mean, there's just so many
Yeah.
variables. And so, I do understand where, I know that the last time it got cold, there was a hotel that was helping out.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
we went over and helped feed everybody.
Right.
Laura and I did, took meals to rooms and everything. But it was a little bit of pandemonium there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I can see where.
And it
you know.
always kind of is, and that's
Yeah.
why I just give Aaron the kudos I
Oh
do.
man,
because
respect.
He throws all that shit out the window. He said, "Look,
No.
man, if you've ever been really hungry or really cold, you know that nobody deserves to be. Whatever baggage you got, none of that shit matters. We're all just people trying to survive.
I do deserve. I do deserve to be hungry a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I should be hungry more often.
Right.
All right. Let's move on with this then, because I think this is interesting. The leading causes of death in America. Don't know if you have any idea what they are. If you could guess, what would you think?
Smoking.
Diabetes.
Cancer.
Smoking. How many people smoke anymore?
Right.
Like 5%.
Vape.
Number 10, COVID.
No kidding.
Yeah, 49,000 deaths. It fell from number 4 in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
It accounted for 1.6% of deaths then. Not now. So, all right, let's see what else. Chronic liver disease and cirrhosis is number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of drinking. Number 8, kidney disease. Number 7, diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be coming down dramatically. I mean, this Ozempic life right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people may wither away, but they're not going to have
blow
diabetes.
away in the wind. But
Yeah. Alzheimer's is number 6. I think they're on the cusp of really making some breakthroughs. They've
With it,
identified some genetic markers.
I was
and
about to
things,
say, we were talking about the genetic testing earlier, and that's
Yeah.
a huge thing.
It is.
I learned that I say most countries, some developed countries, we're the only ones that refer to it as Alzheimer's. Other countries refer to it as type 3 diabetes. It's a
Really?
result of the shit we're eating.
Really?
The shit we just see it as Americans as a natural part of getting old. Oh, you kind of start to lose your mind, get dementia, Alzheimer's, and
hold
they're
on.
coming out more and more and saying,
What is
no,
it
that's-
we're eating they're not? That's the question.
I think a lot of the dyes in our food, a lot of the preservatives that, there's a ton of stuff that the American Food and Drug Administration lets in our food that other countries say, no,
Well, I know
we
they're
don't.
banning the red dye now.
Yeah. And I'm not anywhere the person to be qualified talking about it, but that's the general consensus is that, it's a lot of the stuff we're eating. And
Well, they say now that mental well-being has a lot to do with your gut.
your gut biome. Yeah, my
Yeah.
wife could tell you about that.
It's pretty fascinating when you think about it.
For sure. Yeah. It's a direct line to the brain.
They say it's like a second brain somehow.
Yeah.
All right, so you were right, Rich. Number 5, chronic lower respiratory diseases.
See,
So,
don't act like I don't know what I'm talking about here.
pulmonary disease,
sucks down
asthma,
a cigarette.
emphysema, bronchitis, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Number 4, cerebrovascular disease. So that's strokes. That accounts for about 5% of total deaths in 2023. Accidental or unintentional injuries, number 3, 222,000 deaths from that.
Man,
So
y'all need to be more careful.
Yeah.
I
Seriously.
guess the next 2, car wrecks and suicide.
Cancer is number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's still say heart attack
And
number 1.
cancer is, look, you're going to,
Again.
at some point, you're going to get cancer if you live long enough. You live,
Right.
and it may not be at 90, it may take you to 120,
Mhm.
but you will eventually, it will happen. You
Yeah.
know? That's just part of it. And then number 1 is heart disease.
So I said heart attack, yeah.
22% of all deaths, heart disease.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I don't know how long it technically could last.
Right.
I mean, even in a perfect world, how long could it last?
Right. Yeah.
But now, soon enough, when they get you, get your consciousness moved over to a robot,
Yeah. There you go. There you
it
go.
won't really matter
Get
anymore.
frozen.
Would you do that if you could?
Yeah. 100%. I would.
You'd
I
move your
would.
consciousness.
Yeah, if it was an option. If they had some technology to, why not? What else are you're going to be dead in a box anyway? You might as well.
I'm tired. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Magic
Bro.
that I'm clocking out, dude. My shift is up.
Now if I'm a robot, now I can never stop.
Right,
Like, I already had that problem, man.
Right.
ADHD. Would you do that? Would you transfer your consciousness to a machine?
No.
No?
No, I'm out. I'm clocking out too.
Yeah.
I'm done. Thanks for the life. Was a good run. I'm like you. I was busy enough. I don't want to ever not shut on. No, I'm.
No, some people would, they're like, I'd love to live forever or to 150. I'm like, 100. Man, I don't even want to make it to 100.
Yeah.
To be honest, I know that sounds silly, but I'm
Right,
like, no, man, I'm not at 100. I'm not going to be spry and feeling great.
No.
I'm going to be like just waiting for the
Yeah.
Grim Reaper.
Right.
Just hurry up
Just
already.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be weird
Can you
once you
pick
get
my number already?
once you get a certain age. It's got to be weird.
Yeah.
Every day you're like, well, I did wake up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's got to start to really wear on you
Oh,
to
yeah,
some
I'm
extent,
sure.
thinking,
I'm sure.
man, any second now, I'll be done.
Right.
Any day I'm gonna go to sleep. And
Any day,
and
I'll
it's
never
gonna
get
be
up
done,
again,
and
yeah.
it's gonna be wonderful. I can't wait.
Yeah, right.
Forever.
It's gonna be amazing. That's what it's gonna be.
It's so funny that we're talking about this because I was actually just commenting back and forth with Paul on Facebook because we were talking about homelessness and people dying, and he was saying that he transports for funeral homes, and he says you don't realize how many people actually die a day, like just in general, how many people.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that a lot of people die every day. Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah. Hey, check this out. The folks are ripping you off, but you knew that, right? I mean, it's not new, but these stories are a little bit new.
Breaking news.
According to a new book, Spotify has been promoting ghost artists so it can avoid paying royalties to real artists.
Oh.
Yeah, how about that? In an excerpt from a book called Mood Machine, The Rise of Spotify and the Cost of the Perfect Playlist, the author reveals the streaming platform has a secret internal program that prioritizes cheap and generic music. It's dubbed Perfect Fit Content, or PFC, and the program not only involved a network of affiliated production firms that created a ton of low-budget stock music for the platform, but also a team of employees who put tracks from those firms on the curated playlist. So in doing so, they're effectively working to grow the percentage of streams that don't cost them anything to run.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'd be aggravated if I was an artist and you're paying a bunch of crap that's
Hell yeah.
AI generated crap,
Right.
which is what it probably is.
Oh yeah.
Is that something, are you seeing things like that show up in your playlists?
No,
you get
I'm
something
not.
that's an artist you've never heard of,
Yeah,
that's
I
a
mean,
fake artist?
I was gonna say, yeah. There's been a few times I've pulled up a playlist
Really?
on Spotify specifically and been
Yeah.
like, where in the hell did this even come from? Like,
Now, is it just instrumental? Do they have vocals? I mean, what?
no, it's all it's vocals and
it's just
songs
some
and
AI
full length.
stuff that
Right.
sounds
Have you not
like
heard
what
an
you-
AI song yet?
Well, I mean, I've heard the ones that you see on the
Kinda pop
internet
off,
where somebody talks about it or whatever. But no, I don't just go pull up a lot of AI music.
No.
Is that big in your life? Are you an AI music guy?
Yes and no.
Okay,
Like-
I'd hear more.
Well, I will say that it's becoming a great tool
Mm.
for wrestlers to use
Oh, for intros,
for
Right,
intros and
Yeah.
entrance music and everything. That's where I've really
or
seen it.
videos.
Right.
Right.
And that's where I've really seen it get used a lot at, and
Yeah.
even used it myself for. So,
Yeah.
you know,
But,
in
I mean,
that
but
point,
you're not
yeah.
bumping tracks
I was
like
about to say,
this
I
is
don't know
my
if I ever
favorite
see
track
it
ever.
moving to where somebody's
Oh, I do.
gym play. Really?
Yeah, no, I absolutely.
yeah.
The better
I
AI
mean,
gets.
Well,
yeah.
I had talked to y'all. I think we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. They've already used AI to essentially they took Randy Travis's voice.
Yeah, that's right.
And then
Yeah.
they had a whole bunch of
Cloned it.
other country stars come in and like record like they were singing, Randy Travis's
Yeah.
style.
Mm-hmm.
And then mixed the two together and basically came out with a whole album that was AI but sounded exactly like
Right.
Randy Travis.
Right, and he signed off on it.
Yeah, and he signed off on it.
right.
He's good. But I mean, think about it like not necessarily, bumping any music, but if you're a creator or a music person,
Sure.
you can go into a program, type in, your lyrics and everything, select the style, and all of a sudden, bam, you got your
No,
song.
I mean, if you're a songwriter, it's a helpful tool. I mean, there are lots of ways it is helpful. I'm just saying that I do think at some point they'll start more and more cloning artist styles
Oh, yeah.
versus crediting the artist,
Right.
and put their stuff out. I mean, if
the
they-
better
if
better
they came up-
AI gets, it's harder to
Well, right.
differentiate.
If they came up with an AI that kind of sounded like Chris Cornell,
Right.
people might buy it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I mean, just-
right.
If it was just a shade off of
Yeah,
it,
just a pitch off or something.
yeah, just
Right.
a little bit, but still the same kind of thing. You'd be like, oh, this is great.
Right.
How long is it before we're going to be fooled by an artist who's not real, and
I
it
guess
becomes
I'm
one of your
almost
favorites?
thinking, or at least hoping, that it will, with the surgence of AI music, that it will almost add more value to genuine music.
Maybe
you know
it
what I
will,
mean. It'll
maybe.
be, but the easier or the better it gets, the harder it's going to be to even pick out if what you're
Well, hell,
listening
some of
to
it's
is
probably
genuine or not.
practically AI now. Some of these
Right.
pop
Oh,
stars.
yeah,
I mean,
with
hell, I don't know.
auto-tune
Yeah, I
and-
don't know how much they're actually
Right.
doing or not doing. You know, I'm not
Yeah.
even sure how many of them play instruments anymore. Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Do we do that anymore, or is band AI now? The
Right,
marching
right.
bands all AI.
Right. Yeah, you see more and more singers that that's all they do. They're
Now-
just up there singing. They're
Yeah.
not playing anything. Yeah.
Now, speaking of artists and ripping us off, in a jaw-dropping expose, new details reveal how the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant, that was a taxpayer-funded pandemic relief program. It was designed to help save businesses and independent art organizations, but it apparently turned into a free-for-all for Hollywood for both actors and musicians. Okay, so Lil Wayne, whom I love and I consider the GOAT,
Yeah, Young Weezy, baby.
he got an $8.9 million grant. Now, instead of directing those funds towards sustaining music operations, he spent 1.3 on a private jet, about 460,000 on designer clothing. Additionally, he billed taxpayers 88,000 for a New Year's Eve concert in Coachella, which he did cancel. And similarly, Chris Brown's company, CBE Touring, secured a $10 million grant. Brown personally pocketed $5 million and used $80,000 to fund a birthday party, complete with models, an LED dance floor, and other things. Let's see, a DJ Marshmello got $9.9 million, with his business manager claiming the money went into his personal account. Steve Aoki, another DJ, his company DJ Kid Millionaire got $2.4 million for payroll cost, and $1.9 went to him. That's good payroll.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Even rock bands like Shinedown got in on the action. They split $2.5 million among the three members from their $8.3 million grant. Alice in Chains members took distributions from their grant, despite selling their catalog for $48 million.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
It's nice to know where all my hard work has gone to.
Well,
I'm glad they were able to get themselves a new plane, you know.
No, I just want you to know that while you're having to file taxes,
Right.
you know, having them take money out of your check, that at least DJ Marshmello's getting one.
I mean, you know, I would.
You know, I mean, that's good, right?
Thank goodness.
Glad to
I
know that my
was
taxes are going exactly where I need them to.
No, I absolutely want to support Chris Brown's LED dance floor. I mean, why wouldn't I? I mean,
Please go get yourself that new jet. Don't worry about the hamburger meat that I can't afford at the grocery store.
No, that's fine.
You know.
Let's see. Scotty said, I'm going into my 20th full year at A&B Dirt in Conway. 30 off and on, really. I'm 49. That's amazing, man.
Yeah,
We were
nice.
asking earlier how many people have been at a company 20 years or longer. By the way, you're the only person who has said
Commented.
that. Yeah, about being somewhere 20 years
Right,
or more.
right.
Now, there may be somebody else out there. If you are, I'd be interested to know where you are and why you're there.
Yeah, what kept you there?
Yeah, I mean, 20 years at A&B Dirt, you must be a pretty valuable employee or the owner now. Andy said, hey.
Maybe they just really liked playing with dirt as a kid.
I mean,
you know?
look,
So, like,
operating heavy machinery is probably
that's
fun.
Fun, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've never
Hey.
done it, but I think it'd be fun.
Yeah,
It
for
seems
sure.
like it would. Now, I'm sure, like anything else, after you do it a while, it's work.
Yeah, monotonous.
Right.
You know, just like
Right.
being a singer at some point, you know, you sang that song a
Yeah,
1,000
yeah.
times. It's a job,
It's
but
gonna wear on you.
still,
You may not have been with the same company, but you've been in radio for over 20 years.
that's true.
I mean,
that is true. I mean,
know?
that's a fact. You know, I
Yeah.
have been in the industry at least.
yeah.
But I'm an entertainer is what I love doing.
Right.
You know, I mean, I've been in entertainment since I could remember, and yeah, I don't.
But I mean, there's a, you know.
But your point's well made. I mean, if I could have been with the same company, if they weren't a piece of shit,
There it is.
I would have been there.
Hey, I'm glad we're here though. I'm glad we're
Right. I mean, yeah, well, that hadn't happened. Yeah.
I am too. I had a lot of people when I was went out to Sticky's for death metal disco and was talking to all the guys and the band members and everything there, and they were all talking about it because you know, and I didn't realize how many people really felt the type of way about it.
Oh yeah.
You know, like we're really hot about it.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
for
that's
sure.
what dude straight up told me, he said, man, I turned it off.
Yeah.
He said,
yeah.
I'll never go back. He said,
No.
it pissed me off real bad. I was
Right.
like, wow, I didn't, I knew I was passionate, but
Right.
I'm the one being paid to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Exactly.
to hear
No,
other
dude,
people
I
express
have
that.
not heard one reaction that was different than that right there from
No.
anybody. As a fan and a friend, like that's the general consensus to everybody. Like, nope, that's not the number one button anymore.
No,
That's-
hey, good luck to him. I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, hey.
I no hate on anybody. There's
Right.
room for everybody, and if you love it, you love it. That's great.
Right.
If you're going to get music and you want the modern rock, that's
right.
probably how you're going to get it, unless you're just going to play MP3s or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
Stream it.
Right.
But
Really, so many people do that now anyways. You have, satellite radio, and you just plug in your phone or
A lot of
Bluetooth your
people-
phone to it, and
I think overwhelmingly now more people probably stream content.
Oh, yeah,
than
for sure.
listen,
Oh, yeah.
at any point.
1,000%.
Yeah, I'm certain of that. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, because when I'll even admit when they first started the streaming thing, I was like, I don't know about this, man. I'm
Right.
not sure. And when it made me a little anxious
Yeah. I'm
at
sure.
first.
Sure.
But over time, I was like, no, this is really amazing because beforehand, if you were in any kind of entertainment, you'd have to be syndicated to get out
Yeah.
to
right.
people
Yeah.
all over the planet or all over the country. Now, all you need is streaming, and
Yep.
you can be heard or seen or whatever
Right.
anywhere in the world. And
Right.
that's kind of dope.
Yeah. The opportunity just
It is.
exploded for
But
everybody.
we were concerned about it. Now, rightfully so in some ways, because if you listen to corporate radio, and you know what I mean, it's they
Yeah,
almost
it's
all-
corporate. It's,
they
you can
almost
tell what
all-
you're listening
they
to.
almost all sound the same now.
Yeah.
It's they've stripped out all the originality and the fun
Oh, yeah.
for the most part, and they just put in the hokey cheesy,
Yeah.
double shot of Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, man.
Yeah,
I
right.
can't wait to hear it again.
And I feel like that's all it's turned into for people is background noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
It
mean?
really
It's something
is.
to have on in the background.
It is.
It's not something that they're
Well,
tuning
remember,
into out of interest.
I remember when I was going through broadcasting school, the big term was, some stations after the morning show go to being robot stations, is
Yeah,
what they call it.
that's true.
And,
But people don't realize that in radio, the morning show makes the money for the station.
Right.
Right,
That's the
that's
best.
where you wanted to be. That's where the money
Well,
was.
that is the money. That's the revenue generator for
Right.
the station. The other shows may do well, but your morning show is always the biggest revenue source.
Right.
That's,
Oh, yeah.
that's where everybody congregated. But now it's changing a lot.
Yeah.
And if you could get a syndicated, if you could be a morning show and get
Oh,
yourself
yeah.
syndicated,
Yeah.
you just stamped your
that's
ticket.
what I mean.
Right.
I mean, when I was doing the rant and I ended up being in, 18 states doing it.
Yeah.
It was really,
Yeah, hell
it was
yeah.
really cool. It was
Right.
like, wow, this is crazy because the internet wasn't as big then as it is
Right.
now.
Right.
So that it was quite a big deal at that
Right.
point to do that. And it was not an easy thing to accomplish either. I mean, because
Oh, yeah.
I had to call and solicit that shit.
Yeah, hell yeah,
They
sell
weren't just
yourself.
calling me.
Right, right.
At first, anyway, they weren't, you know,
Right.
but over time, I mean, I was in Boston, El Paso,
Hell
and
yeah.
Denver, and Mankato, Minnesota. I mean, hell, I was everywhere, man. New
It's
England.
awesome, though.
It was cool, man. It was really cool to.
Little
go do
doggy,
that.
he worked at a place called Getz Craft Printers. It was in Ann Arbor,
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah, now he's been in printing for as long as I know.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's been in that industry his whole life, to my knowledge.
Man.
I mean, as long as I've known him. Well, that's not true. I've known him since 4th grade. So,
And I'm not gonna
as
lie.
an adult, he's been in
Right,
printing. Yeah.
right.
My dad was, like I said, he was the delivery driver for him, but man, he loved that job. He took pride in it. Like,
Yeah.
and everybody knew him. Like, he'd
Right.
walk into a business and they,
Yeah.
oh, there's Birds the delivery guy. Yeah, come
Yeah.
on through. He
Yeah.
just that kind of guy. He's always friendly.
Yeah, now people see my dad and go, "There's that prick that owes me money." Let's see. Coda said the last coworker I had that was employed at our place of work told me that if I'm still there in 20 years, I should go ahead and end it. Well, David said not the same company, but 20 years next year in HVAC. Yeah, I think if you're a tradesman like that, a printer, if you're in heat and air, a lot of those industries, you may stay in that industry for your life.
Right.
but it is still pretty rare to stay with the same company,
Yeah.
even if you're staying within the industry.
Right.
You know?
Scotty Thorpe says several reasons that he stayed this long. Construction is a fickle business.
Yeah.
He loves running equipment. He's never ran out of work. He could bounce around and chase work, but they run out.
No, I mean,
He's not part owner, but yeah.
I can believe that though. I mean, if you're a heavy equipment operator, you're always in demand.
Yeah.
Because
you're
I
never
promise
gonna run
you,
out.
I promise you, they're not spitting out a ton of new ones today like they used to.
I mean, and I agree with his last statement. He said, his last sentence here, he said, they take good care of us and there's no real reason to leave.
Yeah,
And I
well,
think really as an employee, like, that's all you want. You want to, we understand that we're working. We understand that, everybody above us is who we're making money for. Like, we're not dumb, but you want to feel appreciated for doing that.
yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I mean, look, most people know that they're, make money for the company.
Right.
I mean, that's what you're there for.
Right.
I mean, it's only in recent years we've become angry about that. And some of that is justified because you have some greedy mother out there that, they're paying themselves $8 million.
Yeah.
And you got 14 an hour, and that's trash. But yeah, I mean, most people get the deal. I don't mind a company making money. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I want them to profit if I like them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've actually had that conversation with a couple of friends myself because my work from home job, they're like, we haven't gotten a raise in like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you've been there long enough. You know what you're doing. You could go to another company and make more. And I'm like, yeah, but there's no guarantee that A, they're going to have me on the same schedule.
Right.
B, I'm a single dad. Can I go take a 45-minute lunch break to go pick up my kid from school? Like,
sometimes there's a value to being a known commodity, and it gives you flexibility that you don't have another job.
Right.
It takes a while to earn that.
right.
If you've been somewhere long enough, you can go, boss, I need to take off a little.
Right.
Right. And hey,
And it's cool,
Yeah.
And if you have a good relationship, that is a good reason to stay. I mean, just going for $1 an hour more isn't enough reason to leave a company. You'd have to have, for me, many reasons.
right.
And just that,
I'd say that was one of my biggest entrepreneurial motivators as a young man was going to the company I worked for's Christmas party, which was at the boss's house.
Yeah.
And just seeing where my boss lived,
Right.
what he was paying me,
Yeah.
I said, "No, I can't do this. I can't do it."
And here's the interesting thing too. I mean, just stop and think about it for a minute. I mean, we all need something to shoot for.
Right.
We all need something
You gotta have a
to
dream.
work for, a
Right.
dream, a goal, something, And if you don't have people living that life, how are you going to know what that life is to go for it?
Exactly.
I've never felt angry for people making money or being rich or being successful or
motivated.
having cool shit.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's great if you do. I mean, good for you on that. I know some people feel like, well, you should be doing well. Okay, why?
Right.
Why?
Exactly.
I mean, I guess they can, but
No,
what
if you see
business
Well,
is it of
especially
mine?
if it's something that they built up on their own
What
from the ground up.
business
Like, do
is
you?
it of mine?
Well, but on top of that, like that's what they deserve. Do you know how much time they had to put in to build that business from nothing, and how many, take nothing jobs they had to do or whatever? Now they're making money for it.
Yeah, well, a lot of people do work long and hard.
Right.
I mean, look, let's be honest here. None of us that operate here have drawn a single paycheck of any kind.
No.
Right now we're just here on good spirits and good timing.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Let's go.
Eventually,
Let's go.
The hope is eventually
Yeah,
that results in the way that we want it to.
Absolutely.
And if it does, I'm not going to feel bad for that.
Right.
Because look at the amount of time that we put in.
But
And I
that's
don't mean
exactly
that-
my point.
I don't mean that to be a dick. I'm just saying that I'm the one here. You're the one here.
Right.
Putting this time in and doing it unpaid.
Right.
With a good attitude.
Right,
I might
right.
admit. And mostly. And so yeah, when it does come to the pay part, I do want that.
Right.
Of course I do. I'm like, yeah, all those hours I worked, I'd like to be compensated sometime.
Right.
If I could be.
But that's
But
exactly proving my
the
point.
risk I take.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I could walk away from this in 9 months or 10 months from now in a year and say I'm done and never have made any money at all.
Right.
Right.
I mean, that's the risk I take,
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
But hey, if you make, $1 million from it, why is that my place to say, oh, you need to give that to me?
No,
I didn't help you out. I mean, I did, but yeah.
but no, but I feel you. And I understand, like, I get the anger at Big Pharma. Now I don't.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do
like
not-
corporations
I
and
do
stuff like
not-
that. That's
Well, yeah.
I do not. I will not. I'll never tell you that killing people is an answer. I think that's stupid.
right.
But I do understand the anger
Oh, yeah.
because I mean, people's lives are impacted. You don't have a choice. This is
Right.
you know those kind of things. That's where the greed can get out of hand.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
and we all know that.
And that's I mean, when you can go and when you can make a medicine that can cure my disease for 20 cents and you want to charge me $200 to buy it,
Well,
come on
and
now.
I-
I'm,
and I-
I'm going to be pissed off at that.
Look, I understand that you have to pay for research and development and things like that. I get that, but
Yeah.
there is at some point,
A line.
I would think, an ethical, moral line that goes, man, I can't rape people like that.
Yeah.
Well,
We're
you
just
know, but
ripping their
they're
heads
not.
off out here.
Yeah, but they're not. You know,
Right.
they don't sometimes.
Right.
And
would
uh,
rather
it's,
have
it's
my,
definitely
you know-
it's definitely different looking at the greed of like corporations and stuff
well,
like that.
especially the big corporations.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah. But as far as like other individuals, never get pessimistic or jealous or insecure. Just be motivated. Take some notes. you
Right.
know.
and
Learn from them.
Yeah.
And in fairness, too, sometimes you know you look at someone and you think, "Oh, they got the best life ever," and maybe
don't.
they don't. Maybe they don't.
No,
Right.
you lack.
You know,
I mean, we're sitting here and do shows every week together, and we still lack so much context on each other's lives.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and we're
I
good
don't look-
friends.
yeah.
Imagine how much
Yeah.
context
Aw.
you lack on a stranger's
That's right.
life. You know, you have no idea.
No,
you
you
have no
don't.
idea.
No, I mean, I guarantee you, people must think that. I know people think this. They think that my life's like one big party.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm
Right,
just
right.
out kicking it
Oh,
all
yeah.
day, every day.
Right.
You know, ranting and showing up, and
uh-huh.
but that ain't how it is. You know, I work my ass off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, dude.
You know, I work here. I work in real estate. I didn't get home last night. I don't know what time it was. I mean, it was
Right.
late.
Right.
You know, and that's every day. And I'm not bitching about that.
Right,
No.
I'm
right.
not bitching about that. I chose real estate because, to be honest, I was tired of making everybody else money.
Right.
Right.
You know, now I'm still making somebody else
Yeah.
money. You know, but at least with real estate, I have a little better way to go about it,
Right.
and I can use that as a means to hopefully improve my financial
Yeah, hell yeah.
situation.
Right.
You know, I'd like at some point to be that guy again, where I go, yeah, no, I got a
Yeah,
credit
like-
score that's around 800. Because
Right,
when I hear that, when people say that to me, I just look at them and go,
Yeah. Must be nice.
I don't
Must be
even.
nice.
I never even approached it.
Yeah.
I think I got to 720 once, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's crazy, you know, what people may perceive your
Yeah.
life to be.
No, I'm empathetic with that. You know, people tell me all the time, like, "Oh man, you're in your 30s. You don't have any kids. You travel around."
Oh
Like,
yeah, you're loaded.
well, I mean, truth be told, I work my ass off.
Well,
I
sure.
mean, and,
You're on the grind too. You get up
on the
early,
grind,
you work
dude.
late.
And there's some days I wish, like, man, I wish I was just going somewhere for
Oh,
8
look.
hours a day,
All
and not
right.
Let me
caring
tell you
about
something.
anything when I
Let
went
me-
home.
I'm going to tell you the 100% unvarnished truth. This morning, the alarm went off, and this is a daily thing for me. About the first 10 to 12 minutes, I don't want to get up.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to do this show. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't like anybody. I don't want anything to do with anything. I just want to go back to fucking bed. Okay, that's what I want for the first 10 to 12 minutes. I'm
Right,
up.
right.
After that, my attitude adjusts and I adapt and I'm happy.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, everybody, no matter how fun or cool or whatever your job may be, it's a job.
Right.
It's
You
a
know,
job.
I
Right.
mean, if I'm going to get up and do this, I got to get up and
Yeah.
do
Yep,
this,
yep.
even on the days I don't feel like it.
Well,
You
I
know?
to choose to walk out in those 20-degree temperatures
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
morning,
I
and
promise you, when I opened the door and that wind hit my balls, I was like, I don't know, man. Do I need this in my life?
I gotta
do I
go.
really need a show anymore? I mean, I don't know. Do I?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to get a remote starter for my truck.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that kills me.
Yeah, no, every time Chad does it, I do feel a sense of
Chad.
envy. You know,
Chad with
the
his fancy
Chad.
badass
Yeah, I
car.
know.
you know what I did this morning?
What?
I woke up, I put on my hoodie, I went out, walked up the stairs to my car, and started it just like it's meant to be, and then
Well, that's
walked
what I
right
did.
back
Yep.
inside and
I did
said,
that.
"I'm gonna wait 15 minutes for it to warm up."
I did not do that. No.
I don't have the
Get in,
remote, you
start
know,
it,
all this
go.
fancy remote starter.
No, I get in it. I start it. I wait about 1 minute and I go. And, and they say, you know, used to you had to warm them up. They say now the modern cars you only need 20 or 30 seconds. But I'll sit there for a minute in
I'm
the
not
cold.
blessed enough to drive a modern.
Yeah, mine's not modern.
It's not that modern, you know. It's 2013 or whatever. So yeah.
Here's a 2013. Mine's 90s. '98.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but that's a good one though.
It is, man.
Is it a Buick?
It's a Buick Century
Yeah, the Century. Yeah.
with under 100,000 miles under it.
Oh, hell.
That's
Original
crazy.
everything.
That's a lead
yeah.
sled too,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Those things ride like a cloud, bro.
It is a smooth ride.
Now I used to sell the shit out of Buick Centuries when I was in the car business. man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I worked for Kurt Zorn Motor Company in Benton, and they sold junk.
Yeah.
And that's what it was, man.
Yeah.
We literally had people when they bought the car, they would sign an as-is agreement
Yeah.
that said, if this car breaks in half as I drive off the lot, I will cheerfully pay for both halves. You had to sign that shit, man. Can you imagine that? I mean, it's like,
Oh,
what?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about this
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't believe that would fly today in today's market. I'm not sure anybody would sign that, but
That's hilarious. Though.
yeah, we sold a bunch of junkers, but the Century is a good car, though.
Man, it really is.
That's
I
a
mean,
good
I
one.
enjoy it as much as I dog on it for it being an old car and everything.
Hey,
Like,
man, get you from A to B.
dude, that's all that matters.
You know
I'm
what?
not,
The great thing about cars like that is they aren't over reliant on computers and everything. They can
Yeah,
break
exactly.
down.
I have been on both sides of the spectrum because now I drive a '98
Straight
Buick
and-
Century.
oh, never mind.
No.
Yeah, we got you, Rich. We got you.
But I had a Cadillac, was a 2009 Cadillac CTS for a minute.
Oh yeah, that's a nice
And,
car.
dude, it was I
That's a
love
great
that
car.
was luxury for sure. It was all leather interior and
That's what my mother-in-law has.
seat warmers and everything.
An
And,
09 CTS.
yep.
Yeah.
And then them coil packs blew, and they said, "Oh, it's going to be like $2,000 to replace them." And I was
Yeah.
like, "So here's the
Oh.
keys."
I've
I'm done
been
with
there.
this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to that '98 now, happily. Yeah.
No, sometimes I miss the old cars. They were just simple and easy.
Well,
Yeah, I could work on it.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I
my
mean. You can
wife
work
got
on your
a-
own.
2019 RAV4, and I'm no mechanic, but I can change my oil and my brakes,
Yeah.
and I can't do anything on her car. I can't find the oil filter.
No, some of them are that way, man.
Yeah.
Like the Lexus, I never could. I mean, I could put oil in it, but that was
Yeah.
it. I mean, it's just the way it's designed is so compact in
Yeah,
there.
right. Yeah, those older cars, you could crawl under the
Oh,
hood
Jesus,
and take a
man!
nap
I could,
under
yeah, I
there.
could shut the hood and stay
Yeah.
in there for about an hour and still breathe.
Yeah.
You know, I did change my thermostat out the other day,
Nice.
which was
Did you?
yeah,
Yeah.
I did. Which is not that big a deal, but I was like, all right, I hadn't done anything like this in a little
I feel
while.
like,
Did you do it on your own, or did you, YouTube some tutorials and things?
No, I'm always going to YouTube it
Yeah.
first.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
no, I'm
I feel
going to
like
make
any-
sure because you learn what not to do that way. You know?
I feel like any females in our audience are like, what? Why is that a big deal? And every dude in our audience are like,
Yeah.
change the thermostat, baby. Way to go, dude. Hell yeah, got it done.
No, I did, and I was happy about it. When I was done, I was like, that
Felt
feels pretty
confident.
damn manly
Hell
right
yeah.
there, you know.
Smoke
Was there
cigar.
something that prompted it, or you just
Yeah,
decided
no,
to
my
do
car overheated.
it? Did it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and
I learned that trick. That's why, because I had a car years ago, and that's where I first learned about thermostats in cars,
Yeah.
because it kept
Yeah.
overheating, and I thought it was gonna be some incredible, expensive fix, and
Oh,
No,
look up
$20
thermostat-
here, you're good to go.
thermostat's always anytime you have overheating. That's the first thing,
Yeah.
unless you have an obvious hose that's
Right.
leaking.
Right.
First thing you do is change the thermostat because they're only like $15-20 tops.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's not usually very difficult to change out. Now after that it gets into other
Right.
things.
Yeah.
dude, the old cars too. You crack your windshield or something, $100. You get
Yeah,
that.
man.
All
Yeah.
right.
It's
Yeah.
over 1,000 now. At least for my wife's RAV, we got our window cracked driving back from Montana, and I was like, no big deal. We'll just stop somewhere, and they said like $1,200. I'm like, what?
Dude.
Well,
I'm like,
you
well,
know,
it's got
my
so many
wife told me that.
sensors and
My
shit in
wife
it.
told me that the other day about hers. I was like, isn't it like you go over to Safe Life's like $50,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
She
it's
goes-
nothing.
Yeah,
She
no.
said, no, it's 500. I said, what are you talking
Yeah,
500? What are
yeah,
you
like,
stupid?
good
What
lord.
do you mean
It's a
500?
piece of glass.
Oh, windshield's not 500.
Right.
Oh, yeah, no, they are now.
I
Yeah.
got my mind blown when I was car shopping before that one. Like, with just the
Oh.
general call. Like, I grew up in the days of, if you could turn the key over and it started, it was worth $500 at least.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
And that'd still last you a good year or so as a car. But
I've
now,
had a
like,
few $500
Oh, yeah.
cars in my day. Yeah.
But now, dude,
No, you can't
unless you're
get it.
spending like $5,000 on a car, it might last you a
No,
day.
when I decided to buy a different vehicle for, because in real estate I drive all the time. I mean,
Right, you're putting
I'm,
some miles in.
yeah, I mean, it's like an in town truck driver.
Right.
I mean, I'm
Oh, yeah, I
literally on the road
Mhm.
almost all day, and so I was like, well, I need a more efficient vehicle for that, and I wanted to go buy the cheap car.
Yeah.
I looked for cars that might be $3,000-$4,000 to
And
pay
that's-
cash for, and every one of them I'd look at, I was like, that is a turd.
Yeah.
I can't do nothing with that. That's just waiting to die on me,
Yeah.
And so yeah, you got to pony up.
Yeah, I bought my first truck,
Crazy.
$200. $200 cash. I was
Wow,
15. I couldn't
$200
didn't even have a driver's license
Yeah.
yet, and I drove it home, and my parents were pissed. They're like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Hey, here's $200. I had the money
But
on
that's
me.
how
I
it was
stopped and
back
bought
then.
it."
you
Yeah,
know?
hell yeah.
Yeah, no, I trying to remember. I remember buying a car after I graduated for $500.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
Yeah.
a Monte Carlo. I think it was a Monte Carlo 4-door lead sled.
Hell yeah.
It was a piece of crap, but it ran.
Hell yeah.
And
Hell
it got
yeah.
me back and forth, didn't it? I was always mad it didn't have a good stereo. That
Yeah.
was always the most important thing
Right.
to me. What kind of stereo? That's the first thing I do is,
That was the number one thing when you were, 15, 16.
well, yeah, if you couldn't bump Led Zeppelin, what good
Yeah.
were you?
What could you do?
What could you do? Yeah, you were trash, right?
Y'all, I got to take off and get out of here myself. I hate to have to leave you a little early,
Oh,
but
that's
it's
all
the
right.
way it works out today. So
Well, okay.
thanks for having me, man.
Hell yeah, man. We'll
Glad
see
to
you
be
soon.
back.
Ring the
We'll-
bell real quick.
All right, and
Just
we'll be
to do
back
it,
on
yeah.
Thursday. Just
Yeah.
one more time,
Yeah. All right. That's
We're gonna
nice,
get a
man.
table set up here for you to get slammed through.
Yeah, one preferably without any exposed rusty nails or anything that's, gonna kill me, man.
Yeah, no, we're gonna make sure it's a solid steel one.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Hey, y'all have a good one. We'll see you back here Thursday. Ark and
sir.
Brawl, January 25th. Mark your calendars and
Nice.
That's right.
have a
That's
good
right.
one, y'all.
All right,
Later.
my
All right, brother. We'll
Later
see you
on.
later, Rich.
So let's change gears real quick, and we'll do
Yeah,
this,
we'll
and yeah, here we go.
Listen up now, I'll tell you a story. Without a doubt, it's kinda gory. It's the worst news you could ever hear. Things just like this make you fear. Lying lunched on a dumb guy's knee, or a big aardvark drowning some honey. Why you laughing? Why you laughing? This shit ain't funny. What? This shit ain't
I don't know,
funny.
Luke. It might be. It might be. This is exactly what belongs here. Love can make you do stupid shit. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But here's a new champion in that area. A zookeeper at a private zoo went into the lion enclosure to film himself petting the lions to impress his fiance. Unfortunately for him, the 3 fully grown lions weren't interested in love and attacked him and killed him. What were described as his partially eaten remains were found for 4 hours after the incident. 2 of the lions were tranquilized because they escaped the enclosure after he left it unlocked. The 3rd lion was shot. Reports say the man was an experienced lion handler. Well, not a good one.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he said to his girlfriend right before. He went.
Right.
Like, no, I've done this before.
Yeah, no. She's like, do you think you should? No,
It's
just watch
fine.
this. Yeah, no,
It's
this is
fine.
cool. Yeah.
They rip him
That
apart.
had to be a tough moment for him when they just started working him. And he's like, oh, this was a bad idea.
Like, I should have kept my mouth shut.
Yeah, no, this is a bad idea.
I
Right
wasn't
here.
as good at this as I thought I was.
No, definitely a letdown right there. All right. This is a pretty interesting one, too, here. This is animals are pissed off. A young woman killed by an Asian elephant at a sanctuary in Thailand Friday during a bathing session gone wrong. Spanish citizen Blanca I want to say it right, Wanguren, was
Sounds
visiting Koyao Elephant Care with her boyfriend at the time. The newspaper reported over the weekend she studied law at the University of Navarra. The elephant care told the Spanish outlet the 50-year-old elephant pushed her with its trunk while she bathed it and caused a fatal blow. About 18 people were at the sanctuary at the time, including her boyfriend. She was rushed to a local hospital where she later died. The sanctuary owner said the business was temporarily closed as a result. They offer tourist packages, $50 to $85. The company offered 2-hour sessions with elephants that include everything ranging from cooking classes to kayak sessions. But yeah, I mean, look, if you deal with wild animals,
Right.
there's a risk to it.
Yeah.
You might die.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost like the Titanic submarine. Like if you're rich enough to be taking baths with elephants, then I think
Yeah.
you deserve it.
Well, I mean, what happens, happens, right?
Right.
All right. Swedish rapper Gaboro. He's 23. He was executed in a public parking lot in Sweden. The execution shockingly live streamed with footage showing the assailant firing multiple shots as he attempted to flee and pled for his life. Gaboro succumbed to his injuries despite efforts to save him. At about 8 p.m., authorities were alerted to a shooting in a parking lot, and they found him injured with multiple gunshot wounds. The artist, who had prior convictions for alleged gang affiliations, became the latest casualty in Sweden's escalating gang violence epidemic. Now, if I'm not mistaken, just a few years ago, Sweden and Denmark were the happiest place in the world.
Yeah, the
Everybody
least
wants to
violent.
be there.
Yeah, the least violent.
Yeah, now you got gang violence
Yeah,
going on.
you got to get the street cred.
Wow, that's wild for Sweden. I would not expect that. They do have this very stringent gun control laws, but they've witnessed a surge in firearm homicides now. So, in spite of the fact they have the really strong laws, it has.
Well, yeah, all the bad guys have guns.
Well, that's
That's how that
accurate.
works.
That is exactly
Yep.
how that works.
Yep.
You're right. Yeah. Now make the good guys give them up, and what
Yeah.
happens?
Yeah, exactly.
One person died, at least 5 hospitalized after a boat exploded and a dock fire at a marina in Fort Lauderdale. Well, you don't want to die in Fort Lauderdale,
Yeah.
do you? I mean, it's a good trip. It's just ruined
Right.
for everybody. They responded to several 911 calls upon arrival. They discovered one primary boat fire that had spread to a second nearby vessel. Several people were injured from both the explosion and the fire. 3 of those individuals hospitalized with traumatic injuries. Divers and watercraft started searching for one who was unaccounted for. One of them that was taken to the hospital was impaled by some kind of metal bar that apparently went in his back and out the bottom of his leg somewhere.
Wow.
That had to be pretty bad. It probably sounded like, hold on, like,
Yeah.
I would think that's about what that sounded like right there. Yeah, that's bad. All right, and 2 luxury real estate agents and their brother are accused of drugging and assaulting, raping dozens of women, according to a federal indictment.
Wow.
Yeah, Tall, 38, and Orrin Alexander, 37, 2 prominent jet-setting brokers in New York and Miami, and their brother, Alon, were arrested in Miami Beach. Prosecutors say they worked together with others known and unknown to repeatedly assault dozens of victims in New York, Miami, and elsewhere. The prosecutor said the conduct is heinous, which you would imagine them to say,
Right.
but they arranged for these well in advance using the promise of luxury experiences, travel, accommodations to lure and entice women to locations where they were then assaulted, sometimes by multiple people.
Wow.
At times, the brothers restrained and held their victims down. According to the charges in the indictment, the 3 brothers had conspired in the trafficking scheme since at least 2010. Well, how do you get away with it
No kidding.
that long,
No kidding.
man?
You think somebody'd pick up?
I mean, I just don't understand
Yeah, that's wild.
how you can
It's horrible.
assault people for that length of time and get away with it. But
Nobody
I mean,
pick up on the scam you're running.
no, I mean that's pretty wild. All right, and let's see what this one said. Oh, this is another really crazy thing. A judge in California ruled last week that women, who were allegedly sexually assaulted in a women's prison by a man who claims female identity must use she and her pronouns to describe the defendant. Tremaine
Man.
Carroll, a 52-year-old prisoner housed in Central California women's facility, after claiming they identify as female, but is accused of assaulting multiple female inmates after his first cellmate became pregnant and was moved to Los Angeles. 2 other cellmates complained he had assaulted them. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, wait.
You claim to be a woman, but you just got this woman pregnant who was your cellmate,
how did that
and now
happen?
you're going to put 2 more in there?
All right.
How about sending him back to the men's prison where he belongs?
That whole shit is a racket, and that's what happens. That's what. Well, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? If you're a male,
Well, of course
and they
I
said, all
would.
you got to say is identify,
yeah,
and we'll
yeah.
send you to the women's
Yeah,
prison.
and look what happened.
Exactly.
The supervising district attorney noted that the alleged victims must use female language to describe the abuser. He said, look, it's insane that a victim would have to get on the stand and police their pronouns when they're trying to talk about one of the worst times in their entire life.
Yeah, why is that prioritized in the case?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, look, clearly, if you were a woman, that got removed when you got your cellmate pregnant.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here right now. Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild. But that, you know, and this is the stupid stuff that happens in California that
Right.
people don't understand.
Right.
You know, so say what you want, but I look at that and I'm like, are you kidding me? A rapist and you're worried about the pronouns?
Right.
Stop putting dudes in women's prison.
Like, come on.
I don't care how they identify. If they have a penis, they don't belong there.
Well,
End of story.
It's like if you've been sent to federal prison, I feel like you've kind of forfeited your right to identify as anything other than a prisoner.
But now they want the taxpayer to foot the bill for giving them, you know,
Yeah,
operations and whatnot. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
They're in prison. What do they even need it for?
Right. That whole
What does
shit's
the
a
equipment
racket.
matter? Can they pee?
Yeah.
Can they poop?
Yeah.
Then that's all that matters. You know, otherwise, sorry, you're in prison. When you get out, spend your money on whatever you want.
Exactly. And that's just how it goes. You find yourself in prison, then you don't have the freedom.
You don't know. You
That's
don't
the
get
whole-
to
yeah.
identify as anything other than an inmate.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what you're an
Exactly.
inmate. Inmate number whatever.
Yeah.
And not male, not female, not
Right.
anything, you know?
Yeah, the whole shit's a racket. I hate to. It's not helping the cause, that's for sure.
No, it definitely is not doing that. Well, listen, today's show is a little bit shorter. I've got something that I need to do this morning, but I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Rich for being here. Of course, thank Bundy for being here.
always
My
a
man
good time.
Bundy.
Always a good
Always
time.
glad to have him. But as always, most importantly, I just want to thank you guys for sharing this, for being part of this, for, you know, being part of the program every day. I'm absolutely humbled. When we went out to Sticky's the other night, so many
Yeah,
folks.
how was that?
Amazing. So many
Yeah.
folks were coming up and you know, saying how much they're enjoying it and how much they're glad that it's here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's awesome. That's what I'm going to say. And you guys are the best fans in the world, bar none. See you tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys. See ya.